it accounted for that.
No, dude.
I already told you it was 39
you
yards.
Didn't run a sub 5. I'll race you right now. And you couldn't.
You think you could run in a straight line right now, or would it be a little wobbly?
Dude, I'd beat his fucking ass.
It's what's really amazing to me about this show is that you all come from such different backgrounds, but you all seem to have CTE. That is to me is what's like crazy because there's like a sports thing, there's whatever background you guys have that I'm not really sure of, and it's just like it's crazy. It's like I feel like I could convince you that they invented a new kind of like. Pocket change, and you'd believe me, like a 7-cent coin.
Yeah. All right, welcome back to Macrodosing. How's everybody doing? It's the new year. It's 2024. We're back. Everyone's in studio right now. Well, everyone's on the podcast right now. Billy's in some undisclosed remote location. He looks like he's in a bar in Maine somewhere, if I had to guess. Are you in a Maine bar?
Not Maine. Best Wi-Fi in the area, so I'm at a closed bar right now.
Okay, Billy's at a closed bar. He closed the place down. We're also, myself, Big T, Mad Dog, McKenzie are all wearing Arian Foster retro-style shirts. I'm going to see how long it takes Arian to figure it out, so we're going to let him into the chat right now.
Okay.
See.
I'm admitting him. Arian, nice sweatshirt. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Trent, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Is that the Tiger one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. He's, dude, Tiger's back.
He's back playing golf, for sure.
He's back, 100% back.
I hear you. Is that the same eggnog from when we was drinking it?
Oh, you can see
Yes,
that?
it is.
Yeah.
I think it's time to throw that shit away.
I think
Doesn't that
it's
shit go bad?
You're very,
I'm sure it's disgusting.
you're very perceptive of things in the studio, Aaron. I'll give you that.
I'm just saying, man.
It's probably fermented.
It's more alcoholic than it was before.
Aged eggnog.
Yeah, if you open that, it's probably gonna smell terrible.
Yeah, well, we got a big episode today. It's good to see you, Aaron. How was your New Year's?
I wasn't recording, man, but now I am.
How was your New Year's, Arian?
New Year's was good, man. I think this is the first New Year's first holiday I spent with the family without no drama. It was pretty fucking cool, man. Everybody just had a good time. So shout out to the fam bam.
Everyone got along?
Everyone got along, man. That shit usually don't happen, man. Something always pop off. But nothing popped off, man. It was just good vibes, good times.
No matter how good your times were with your family and what a good experience that was, I don't think anybody's New Year and Christmas celebration can hold a candle to Big T and what he accomplished over the break. The picture that he sent over to us in the chat.
Oh, yeah, greatest day of my life. Last Saturday, I was at Buc-ee's, and my mom said, you know, on Saturdays, usually they have the mascot in there. And I was like, don't play with me right now. Like, don't tell me that Bucky Beaver's going to be there. And we were in there, and my sister came up to me. She goes, look over there. And I was like, I didn't see anything. And Bucky is shorter than you think. But then I saw just
talking about Mickey Mouse.
two little ears poking up, and I was like, oh, you got to be kidding. So I walked over and I got my picture with Bucky. It was awesome.
That's great. I love it.
Truly have never seen you like happier
Beaming
than in that photo.
Oh, it was the best. They have an employee that follows Bucky around, like Arian, you just said Disney World. They have those at Disney World. They have an employee who stays with Bucky and like, do you want a photo? We'll take your picture.
A handler.
Yeah.
I know a guy that was his full-time job was he was the handler for the what's the name of the not the Carrier Man.
Carrier Man.
It's like Maytag Man. Yeah, he was the Maytag Man's handler. And so his job was to go around with the Maytag Man and go to like Sears or go to like a Macy's or any store that sold Carrier services or Maytag services and just like stand next to him and watch him get pictures taken with people. And then after a while, he'd be like, all right, we got to go. He's got a flight to catch. That was like his line that he would drop to like get people to stop taking pictures. We got a flight to catch. We got a flight to catch.
Who wants a picture with the Maytag Man?
A lot of olds.
Yeah.
A lot of old people.
Damn, like a lot of olds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody under the age of 50 wants a picture with the Maytag Man, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I saw the Maytag Man at Buc-ee's, I'd keep walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Never forget what they took away from you. The green M&M, Lola Bunny, the AT&T spokesperson.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill.
I'm not
with those three.
I'm not going to do that because one of them's a real person who has been sexually harassed online. So I'm not going to add to it.
You could kill her.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I would kill her. I would kill her. Yes. And then,
or you could marry her. What the fuck? Why'd you go straight there?
Big T talked me into it.
Well, marriage, you have sex forever.
Are you wearing my shirt?
That sounds like very true.
Not only am I, we all
Hold
are.
on, all y'all.
Wait, stand up.
Check it out, Arian.
Hey, yo.
How sick is that?
That's funny.
It's a good shirt.
That's fucking funny, man. But hold on, like, I didn't get the memo. I'd have wore that shit too.
That was the whole point.
I can get you one after this, but we wanted that clip.
I think the dude that makes those, his brother came up to me in the airport and he was like, "Yo, my brother makes these shirts, and he wants to collab so we can market and stuff." And I was like, "I'm straight, man."
It is the company was called Vintage Houston or something. So
I think so. Yeah, I think so. No disrespect. I just don't like marketing shit like that. I'm just kind of over marketing. But shout out to y'all, man. I hope you make a bunch of money. If it gets to the ridiculous amount, man, hit me up. And break bread.
They weren't cheap.
They were not.
They look good. They look like good shirts.
They are good shirts. They're good shirts.
The only reason why I noticed is because it goes AR and then the I is on Big T is right perfectly where the microphone is. So I was like, that looks like Arian. I was like, hold up, this shit is Arian.
That's so good.
We should get these made for all of us too. There should be a Big T one.
I
would wear a Big T
glad
shirt.
you thought of that. I'm so glad you thought of that all by yourself without any help at all. In that beautiful brain of yours, that beautiful mind, I'm glad you thought of that. That's amazing.
I honestly think the Big T one would sell the most.
Probably. Yeah.
The picture with the gold chain.
Yeah.
You
and
smoking
Bucky.
the cigar, Bucky.
I know it's a joke, but y'all remember
Yes.
I'm just saying.
That's when I went looking for him because I was like, there has to be one of Arian's somewhere.
But I was dead ass. We should make those shirts, those collage 1990
now that
shirts.
The joke is up, I can. We were gonna wait. We had to wait until the surprise.
Oh, I thought y'all wasn't feeling it. I was like, I thought it was a great idea, but
yeah, it was. It was a very good idea.
Thank you.
This is a sick shirt though. It's heavy duty too.
Yeah,
would you wear one? Would you wear an Arian Foster shirt?
I don't know, man. Maybe for the pod, as a joke, but I wouldn't go outside with a shirt with me on it. I don't know. It's weird as fuck.
That's kind of baller though.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Big T, you'd wear one, right? A Big T shirt?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you would. You gotta believe in yourself. That's what confidence looks like, Arian. So yeah, Liam is a very interesting dude. We like to do the name guys, and we play that game quite a bit on this show. And then we like to talk about additional fun facts about those guys. You're the ultimate guy knower. I think you might know more men than anybody else on the planet.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think you know 90% of men that play professional sports. So, Arian, name any athlete, and then Liam's going to tell you where they went to college.
Okay, I like this game. He had to have played professional ball. Or just
I'd say what's your wheelhouse? A current professional athlete?
I prefer current or a few years ago at least, because I was only born in 98. So, there's a lot of time I did miss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go to Brickashaw Ferguson.
I was thinking about the Brickashaw Ferguson last night. I was just thinking about his days with the Jets and everything, and I really liked the Brickashaw. I wanted the Brickashaw jersey when I was a kid.
Okay,
didn't get one.
You know that one.
But I didn't think of where he went to college. I think it's Alabama, but I could be wrong on that.
No, I don't remember. Is it?
I actually don't know. I think it's Virginia. I actually don't know. I was like,
I want to say it's Virginia.
I think so. Yeah.
Right.
What is it?
I was thinking Miami.
Oh, he went to Virginia.
All right. Yeah.
Shout out to me.
I should have looked him up on Wikipedia last night.
Yeah. Wow. That's bad start for Liam.
Bad start.
It's my fault. I oversold him.
I'm gonna get 0 right.
Liam,
Yeah.
quick question. Do you have a high pain tolerance?
Yeah.
What the fuck is you talking about, Billy? Hey, this is Billy. Billy.
Billy, why do you ask that?
Just doing a little research.
Research on what?
Care to expand?
Well, I was reading an article about gingers having genetic superpowers.
Jesus
He is
Christ.
correct.
And pain tolerance is on there. And I just wanted to ask a couple questions just off, to see if they confirm some things.
Yeah. we have a higher
Is
pain
ginger,
tolerance.
when people say ginger, is that like a pejorative to y'all or
No,
not?
I don't care. I like it.
You can't use the hard
Okay.
R. You have to say ginger.
Ginger.
Yeah. But like not for real, like y'all don't I've heard it before, but like, man, don't
I
call
think
me
some people get upset, but I couldn't care less. I like
Gotcha.
being called a ginger.
Okay.
Billy, what other questions do you have on your quiz to see if he's
Are
magical?
you sensitive to temperature?
Sensitive to temperature.
So if it gets hot, are you hot? If it gets cold,
Oh, yeah, we've been talking about this. When it's cold, when it's cold, like it's been cold here in Chicago, and everyone's like, how are you dealing with the weather and everything? I just like it. I think it's very good weather. It's like 6 degrees some days. I'm all for it. When it's hot, I think I might die.
yeah, that's the MC1R gene,
Yep.
huh?
Aren't you from
do you-
LA?
Vegas. Well, I was born in LA, moved to Vegas when I was like 6. So it was very hot there and miserable.
Arian, you a Boy Meets World fan?
Topanga.
This guy's dad, head writer, Boy Meets World.
Word. Tell him I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? Grew up watching that show. I think that might have been my first crush was Topanga.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
came up with the
man.
name for Topanga.
He did.
Wow.
Shout out to your pops, man.
Do you know where he came up with that name from?
Yeah, street name in LA. I think around Laurel Canyon.
I actually know where that
perhaps, around
is.
there? Yeah.
I know where that is. Wow. Well, that's some lore for you. I didn't know that.
Do y'all know, related to that, the name Madison for girls wasn't a thing until, shit, I shouldn't have started saying this because now I forget the movie. It's a movie with Tom Hanks, and he's walking down the street in New York, and there's Madison Avenue.
Big?
It's him and a woman, and the woman, I gotta find it. Hang on.
Sleepless in Seattle.
You've got
I
mail.
just said it was in New York.
Splash.
There's
Yes, that
places
sounds
in
right.
Seattle.
That sounds right. And the woman points out, like, oh, what is Splash about?
I've never seen Splash.
Okay, well, the woman, like, anyway, she needs a name. She doesn't have a name, I think.
A young boy saved from drowning by a beautiful mermaid falls in love with her 20 years later.
Okay,
when she
right.
starts
So the
to
mermaid
drown.
doesn't have a name, and she points at the sign. She goes, Madison, that'll be my name. And, like, that's where the girl's name Madison came from. It, wasn't a thing until the 80s.
Did not know that.
That's so interesting.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Did your dad also come up with the name Principal Feeney?
I'm not
Mr.
sure on that
Feeney.
one. We'd have to ask him about that.
That's
I'm not sure.
It was a classic character. Classic principal. All right, Billy, do you have any other questions to ask?
So apparently the figures revealed that typically redheads have intercourse at least one more time per week than the rest of the population. Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that varies person to person. Ginger to ginger. I don't know.
Apparently you're also popular in commercials.
That is true. I've read this. I've heard about this, that there tends to be more gingers on commercials because it catches the attention of the viewer. And they're like, whoa, that's different. That's weird. Redhead on TV? Let me watch this ad.
Yeah, like there was a Delta Airlines commercial that had a redheaded flight attendant, and everybody developed a crush on her. She was like very, very popular, just because she stands out a little bit. Okay, name another guy, Arian. I feel bad that we got him off too bad. So, but
Nah,
he
I'm
was
not getting
thinking about
one.
DeBrickashaw Ferguson last night.
That's dope.
Quite literally
As
for
one
about
does.
15 minutes.
You thought about him for 15
That's how long
minutes?
it took.
I was just thinking about the good old days of the Jets and thought about the Brickshot.
A great name too.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best. Let's go. Darius Hayward Bay.
Darius Hayward
That's
Bay
easy.
went to Maryland.
Yeah.
I
Correct.
don't really have any fun facts for
Well,
him,
let's
though.
do our game with Liam, which is where we go around. So he says a guy, Darius Hayward Bay. I then have to say a guy that either played at the same college or professional team as Darius. So I could go Stephon Diggs or I could go Derek Carr. So I go Derek Carr.
So you're going to go Derek Carr. I'm going to go with Devontae Adams.
Nice.
Played college together.
I can go with
I played both.
True.
Jacoby Myers.
Billy has to Google.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with. Do they have to play at the same time? I forgot that part of the game.
No.
Mm-mm.
Aaron Hernandez.
Okay. Aaron
Bit aggressive, but
Hernandez.
correct.
I'm gonna go with Danny Warfel.
Chris Rainey.
Ooh.
Problematic a little as well.
Let's just go with.
That's Aaron Hernandez, not as much as Aaron Hernandez.
No, but he was on those teams.
Let's go with Riley Cooper. Let's keep it going.
Swamp Kings.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, now we're just gonna name Florida guys.
That's why you got to break the mold.
No, come on. You got to pick.
You're a Billy.
Is it my turn? Oh, sorry. My bad.
You can take both of them.
I'm going to go with Michael Vick.
Mike Vick from
That
who?
no, that is correct.
That is
on
correct.
Tebow was on the Eagles, but did he ever play?
So no,
Wait, did someone say
that's,
Tebow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I think it still plays, though.
I'll allow it, but he never played a game for the Eagles.
Mhm.
I was going off Riley. My
He was
bad.
on the roster. Still counts.
Yeah, it still counts, though.
All right. We're going Tebow. I'm sorry, you went Vic.
Vic.
So Mike Vic. I'm going to go with. I don't know if I might be missing Mississippi State. I just work done.
That was a cop out.
Yeah, I was gonna go a corner, but I don't know if it was Mississippi State or not. I can't.
Derwin James.
Ooh. Derwin James, great player. Phillip Rivers.
Wait, so I could just name someone from NC State now, even if they weren't his teammate there?
Yep.
Correct.
Oh, that's
Or pro.
This game's too easy for Liam.
Jalen Samuels.
It's a good pull.
I'm going to go with Jacoby Brissett.
I can picture the jersey, but I don't remember who that is. Oh, Jacoby Brissett. Is it quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Brissett.
That's Ohio
Can't give him
State.
hints.
There's a few
I
options.
think it's Ohio State. I'm gonna go Ted again.
Nope.
You
Arian loses. Jacoby went to NC State. He also plays for the Washington Commanders,
Colts.
formerly of the Browns, Colts, Patriots.
Pats.
I'm not a sports guy. Can I say?
Oh, here's another trivia question for you while we're just doing trivia. Do you know the 2 NFC teams that have not been to the NFC Championship game since 2000?
Yeah, I do know them. Thanks, Big T. I do know exactly who they are. They played, fun fact, they played in the 1992/91, depending on how you define the season, NFC Championship game, and that would be the Detroit Lions and the Washington Redskins Commanders football team.
You do not know them.
Yeah, it had to be Cowboys, right?
The Lions
Yeah,
are in
you
it
are
this
not
year. It's the Cowboys and Commanders.
Oh, they haven't played yet, though.
Okay, but they're in it. now.
That's a fair point.
That is.
Yeah,
that
they
is
haven't
correct.
played
That's a fair
yet.
point.
And yes, you're right. I forgot about the Cowboys, but I thought you were bringing up the Lions, Redskins.
I
stat.
see how you would have been confused by that, but it's the Cowboys.
I know the Cowboys. Cowboys have been a dog shit football team for a long time. People don't talk about it.
It's
They got
actually
the-
wild how bad they are and how much press they get.
I think it's one
Yeah.
of those things where historically great franchises can get on with just being historically great franchises and don't actually have to invest in the team because their stadiums always sell out. Like all the New York teams, they're turning profit every year, so that it doesn't matter if they're winning Super Bowls. Whereas historically not so good, if them winning makes them more money. Whereas the Cowboys are turning a profit no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is still going home with cash in his pocket. So
But Jerry, the difference is Jerry does want to win. He cares very deeply about winning, but he doesn't win.
They gotta let go of the reins, man.
He'll never do it. Never do it.
He'll do it soon. That boy clock ticking.
Yeah, Father Time, undefeated. Father Time. That's a guy that just he has not let success go to his head.
Father Time?
Keeps rolling. Yeah.
Real lunch pail guy.
Brings his hard hat every day. Well, we're talking about your speed though.
That's how you measure speed other than going.
How high can you jump?
Hamstring tears
At
are
my height, I was
crazy.
probably like a 35, 36.
Who's the highest jumping guy in the NFL?
Right now, I couldn't tell. I couldn't.
Oh, no,
Can guys like jump like
the
5
broad
feet in the
jump
air?
guy.
Troy Polamalu used to just jump over the entire line.
That's what I'm saying. Can you just jump? Because that would be.
There's a Washington
walk
wide
off on
receiver.
Troy Polamalu.
The Washington wide receiver that jumped 11 feet.
So the
Broad
highest vertical at the NFL Combine was done by Gerald Sensabaugh.
Crazy name.
Okay.
Where'd he go?
What is it?
Gyro Sensa.
It was 46
46
inches.
That's insane.
That's
pretty high.
crazy.
That's higher than
40
LeBron.
And
That's what we call bounce. That's
Gerald
bunnies.
Sensabaugh is 40 years old,
It's getting
and he
your,
played for Dallas.
it's getting your
Where'd he go to
feet
college?
like 4 feet off the ground
He-
from a standstill.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
He went to UNC and also East Tennessee State.
Oh.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, Arian unfortunately was slow.
And he
Bro,
ran a
There
4.4.
are podcasters with one calf muscle
GPS.
combined. Tell me I'm
I
slow.
think I just ran a 40 the other day, and granted it was 39 yards, not 40, but I got a 4.4.
That's
didn't.
bullshit, dude.
Well, I think the
didn't.
most important
that
thing is
fake ass shit like pisses me
Talk
off.
that shit,
Oh,
Billy.
what,
now
Billy? What
now
fake
I'm
ass
with
shit?
Billy.
That
Now
fake-
y'all put
dude,
me in a
you
position
cut-
where I agree with Billy.
Yeah, you cut the fucking half the run, dude.
What do you mean?
You did it in 12 steps.
Let's
and
do it.
The guy who ran the fastest 40-yard dash, and most people who run 40-yard dashes do it in like 20 to 25 steps.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
edited out the middle of the run. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Yeah, because the timer was running during the video. Like,
no. There
don't do
wasn't.
this fake Shinnecock fucking
the timer.
fake shit.
The timer.
That
during,
pisses me off.
Billy, you're not
Shinnecock.
even listening to me. The timer during the video, it accounted for that.
No, dude.
I already told you it was 39
you
yards.
didn't run a sub 5. I'll race you right now, and you couldn't.
You
I
think you
wanna
could
see
run
this.
in a straight line right now, or would it be a little wobbly?
Dude, I'd beat his fucking ass.
It's what's really amazing to me about this show is that you all come from such different backgrounds, but you all seem to have CTE. That is to me is what's like crazy because there's like a sports thing, there's whatever background you guys have that I'm not really sure of, and it's just like it's crazy. It's like I feel like I could convince you that they invented a new kind of like pocket change, and you'd believe me,
Yeah.
like a 7-cent coin.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dude, I know that was a joke, but I literally was thinking about the other day, like, I wish I had a 7-cent coin because I had like.
No, you didn't think that.
No, I swear, because
No,
I was
you
like,
didn't.
because I had a 14-cent change I had to pay, and I was like, damn, man, like if they made a 7.
Why wouldn't you want a 14-cent piece?
Because
you just wish you had
because
two?
I was thinking
Yeah,
about
there's-
probability and like like a 7-cent coin would make more sense than a 4.
Wait, weren't they gonna
They're
put Harriet
14.
Tubman on the $20 bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened with
Oh,
that?
white people.
Are we still doing
I
it?
thought they were still
I
doing
think
it, but they
white-
were like, it'll
Oh,
take
dude,
like
I
10
gotta
years.
do the-
White
gotta-
people halted that shit.
I got a dude of the week.
It still can happen, but white people were very adamant about not doing that shit.
Getting put on money is so sick.
It
Kinda
is
lit,
sick, yeah.
It's kinda
Yeah,
lit.
God,
Dude, the fucking queen is on too much fucking
too
money.
fucking
bro.
much money,
Dude,
and
she's on-
she's busted.
Yeah,
dude.
dude, she's
they should
on-
make the queen way hotter if
she's
they're gonna
on-
put her on money.
She's on fucking like put her when she's young. Like she's on Canadian money. She's on Australian money.
Because
She's
like
on
I'm sorry,
fucking Indian
when
money too.
I see money, I want to jack off. I'm sorry, maybe it's a Jewish thing, but I want to jack off when I see money. And it's hard because first of all, in the U.S. it's all dudes, and I do it still because whatever. I'm open minded. It's 2024, but I go to fucking jolly old England, and I'm like, all right, time to fucking jack off. Look, time to pound. And I look at it, and it's like this old ass lady, and it's like, fuck, dude.
The
Like Washington.
consistency of their money, though, the texture is awesome.
It's,
Bro, it doesn't
I think it's you
burn,
can't rip it
too.
either. I found
Right.
out last night though. I was staying at my boy's house and we watched all these videos about eunuchs, like in China.
Yeah.
Dude, chopping out their
They
nuts,
they
dude.
used to keep their dick and balls in these things called bows, which are like a jar with your dick and balls in it, and you had to get buried.
Yo,
in it,
they're making
all
a
this
ton
shit.
in America soon.
But you have to. But you have to. We were talking about started talking about George Washington. I guess his nuts didn't work.
Oh,
Like
did he
George
have
Washington, yeah, he never had kids.
That's not true.
That's
I don't think he did.
dude.
that
I
Thomas
met a
Jefferson
chick
thinking
that told me
about?
she was related
Yeah,
to George
Washington did not have kids.
Okay, so
No, because George Washington's
is the one
apparently
with-
Washington's nuts
She lied to me.
were all fucked up, and like he couldn't get a boner. Like his shit just was not rocking. Well, and which Blue Chew would solve that, by the way.
Yep.
But he could not get a boner or bust a nut ever.
Dude,
probably why he was such a good warrior.
He would definitely be like an XXY guy.
I think he is. No, he's Kleinfeld's.
Yeah, Kleinfeld's.
Yeah.
Because Kleinfeld's people are literally freaks of nature. Like, for those who know, XXY means that you have 2 X chromosomes and a Y chromosome. So you're a dude.
Talk that genetic shit.
Don't you have some chromosome thing wrong with you too?
I have 2 Ys, which is better than XXY, but like,
Mosaic
it just
Down
means that
syndrome.
like my it just means that my handwriting's terrible and my like small motor skills are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But it means I got like double Y, which is sick because 80% of the prison population has XYY.
Why would that be sick?
80%. Wait,
Because
that
you're just like
bad for you.
I'm a fucking super male, dude. I'm just joking.
Right.
That's why we put them in prison because they're too masculine for society.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, dude. They looked up.
They put
There's a
you in
whole
a
study
cage.
about XYY. Yeah, dude. If I was
Go to
like,
this workout camp for 6 years.
yeah. They need to send your ass back to Africa.
XYY in prison population.
You need to be with the peoples of the world, teaching them.
I
about
was.
like
I was teaching them.
everything.
I was playing football. In
They
East
need to.
Africa.
America should put you as a plenipotent. What is it? The word plenipotentiary or whatever.
Honestly, like if I was like born like 300 or whatever 100 years ago, I'd be like sent to the front lines. They'd be like, "Yo, we need to get this guy out of society and like push him towards whatever."
I'm gonna be
fighting.
honest. I feel like if you were born more than 50 years ago, you would be legally an ogre. Like they would have you.
No,
you would be
100%. But like,
would-
thank God we've made so much progress that like I can be a podcaster.
But like I'm like saying like we should be sending you around the world as like, look at this freak we got. You know what I mean? Like
No,
it's like how they used to send peacocks to different countries. Like,
What's
"We got these
crazy?
birds
What's crazy?
there." We
What's
should
crazy?
send you around to be like, we got this
Some
fucking.
Spanish sailor comes to America
Yeah.
and sees Billy and just puts him in a crate and takes him back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Presents
dude.
him to
Like
the queen.
we should like gift you to
No,
other places.
What's crazy is that like I know
This is an American.
I know
white male.
I know bigger freaks than myself, which is nuts. Like
Yeah.
some guys I know that are like, I'm like, oh shit, that guy's a freak, and he's like 6'6", and he's like strong as fuck, but he's like dumber than me.
Call him.
Okay, Joe.
Well, don't
I'm
call
calling-
after that.
Hey, well, know how you're dumb as a sack of rocks?
Yeah, Billy, don't call him. You don't have to worry about
shout
calling.
out.
He's like
He
you
was a
keep
killer.
hearing the beat
Dude, he
because
was
he's still
the-
trying
he
to
was
answer
the-
the phone after
He was
hangs up.
like, he was literally, he went D3, but he was
Pause.
Gronkowski type, like tight end.
I don't think so, actually.
Well,
No.
not if you went D3.
yeah, I was gonna say
He
clearly
went
not.
No,
You're
but
talking
see-
about a Hall of Famer there.
No, but like he was like he ran a 4.7, 4.6.
Wow,
That's
fascinating.
really fast.
He deadlifted about like 700.
Billy, he was trash.
close. He was trash. His motor skills were
Well, because the XYY.
yeah.
Billy's
But,
just
like, he
friends
could
with,
have been
like, a
Gronk,
bunch of
though.
like hulking guys with Down syndrome. Dude, I got one of the best fucking. No
I
one
gotta
gives
say,
these
I
guys
played
a chance.
I played football at a high academic school, quote unquote. So there was a bunch of guys who were
What was that? Why was that in quotes?
who were
Why was that in quotes?
there was a bunch of guys that were like
wanna
super
answer?
strong and blunt force trauma types
'Cause he
who like
graduated?
could do well on tests and could study well. Crazy investment banks, and they were absolute idiots in social situations, but they were strong, good at football, fast, but like now they're working like insane jobs like at investment banks, and
So-
they're idiots to the front. Like the way
Billy
you
just out in the
interpret-
homies like
no,
yeah,
but the
yeah,
homies
yeah.
like a lot of people think I'm absolutely an idiot. I think these guys are absolute idiots, but they're working insane jobs on Wall Street and they're super smart, but they're just so like socially they come off as like numbskulls. It's the wildest thing.
So, Brace, you'll enjoy this because I was lucky enough to witness Billy having a meeting of the minds with one Travis Kelce.
Oh God!
And this was-
I could see that
It
going.
was
well.
about like 6 months ago, right?
yeah.
It was at their football camp, and so we did an interview with Travis Kelce. This is before Travis Kelce became like Travis Kelce
Like
trademark.
like the meme.
Yeah,
if
the
I didn't
meme
call him a
version.
pussy,
Yeah.
he might not be in the Super Bowl and dating Taylor Swift.
And Billy called him a pussy, pretty much. He was like, I don't like how you are scared to get tackled. You need to start running the ball more and run people over because you're great at catching the ball, but you're not
we go.
enough.
There we go.
Billy
Do it
told
again.
Travis Kelce he wasn't enough of a man.
Respect.
And you know what Travis Kelce did? Travis Kelce looked him in the eye and said, I think sometimes Billy has a point, and it's something I'm going to start factoring into my game. And I think you could make that argument that sometimes I try not to take those big hits, and maybe I should start doing that more often. And then what happens after that? He gets all the endorsement deals you could ever imagine. He's dating the most popular music star in the world, and he is now like Mr. Millionaire, the tight end. He's the golden boy, and I think a lot of it traces back to Billy.
No, the thing was, I think he needed. I'm giving myself too much credit.
Yeah,
but a lot too much credit. But
way
like
too much.
Sometimes like meatheads need like a meathead check, and it's like, yo, dude, you're not running through people, you're running around people. And he was like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta start putting my shoulder down.
But he didn't.
I would give him the advice.
He ran over dude.
I would tell Travis Kelce if he was here right now. Have you ever thought about bringing a gun on the field? Because I think you could have a lot. I think you could
twice
change
now.
this
You trying
sport
to shoot
forever.
people?
Why didn't you ever do it?
Not a murderer.
You don't have to. Interesting,
Bro, you can maim them, dude.
You don't have to murder someone with a gun. First of all, you can scare them. Second of all, you can shoot to freak them out and be like, what was that? And third of all, have you seen Batman when Bane does the thing on the football field?
Oh, yeah.
You blow the whole shit up?
Yeah,
exactly. You could prevent something like that.
Dude,
one of the greatest tragedies in Gotham's history. You could, if you had been there with a gun, the whole, it's everything would have changed.
It was there 9/11.
It was there 9/11. Yeah. That is crazy. It kind of did 9/11 in Batman, except it was just at the football stadium.
A little bit. Did you hear about what the coach of the Bills said like 3 years ago?
What?
So it was in training camp, and he was trying to figure out a way to hype up his team and deliver
no.
deliver a message to his team, right? And
I don't think I've heard this.
Football coaches only think about football. They have major blind spots when it comes to anything that's not football because they live at the facility.
90% of football coaches hate their families.
Yeah, I think they get into coaching because they don't have to go home.
Be around, yeah.
So the head coach of the Bills, Sean McDermott, he's delivering this pump up speech at training camp, and he says that you guys could learn a lot about how to operate as a team and overcome obstacles and adversity from the 9/11 hijackers, because say what you want about them, but they had to be in communication.
That is true.
They had to organize themselves.
True.
And it was them against the world.
I am hearing only facts here.
And
dude, you fought jihadists, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought about this a lot.
So
I'd love to hear your insight on
wait a
this.
second,
Sorry.
Billy. So he delivers this message, right? And the guy, he asked his team, he's like, what's like an obstacle that they were probably going up against that they overcame together? And one of the players raised his hand. It was like TSA. And McDermott was like, yeah, that's a great point. Although TSA didn't exist. That was actually because of 9/11 that TSA started.
Yeah.
And so that was like 3 years ago. And for some reason, nobody talked about it until the Bills started to play bad at football this year. And so they went on like a little losing streak and they stunk. And then somebody was just waiting this entire time to talk to a media member and be like, you got to hear the 9/11 story that McDermott just told us. Now, to be fair, and I think you're picking up on this a little bit, what he said was not technically incorrect.
No.
That it was a small group of people that had to organize this thing that nobody saw coming, and it was probably pretty difficult to pull off.
Yeah.
But there's like one thing that you probably shouldn't say if you're a head football coach, and that's to be like, the 9/11 hijackers were actually good
Like a
at
model
this
for
stuff.
this
Yeah, a
football
model
team.
for this
A good
stuff.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that came out this year, and then maybe one of the funniest press conferences, he had to come out and denounce the 9/11 hijackers to the media.
Well, I mean,
As
I
denounced
as head coach of the Buffalo
he should have
Bills.
denounced what he's like. I denounce what they did, but not how they did it. Because I don't care who you are. Those boys played a good game. They brought their fucking energy. They brought their A-team. They brought teamwork to that. And I think that a lot of football teams could learn from that.
If you had their belief system, you could literally. I thought about this a lot, especially not just them, but also kamikaze pilots. If you have that belief system, you are not afraid of shit.
Yeah.
And you will get anything done to get to that place.
Or if you're in
that
a cult, yeah.
Yeah.
Valhalla, that type of thought process.
I'm telling you this. If I'm one of those kamikaze pilots, World War II, I'm
Yeah.
like heading my little guy towards the aircraft carrier, I'd probably be like, I'm going to.
No, but that's what makes you different from them, because they're in a fucking balsa wood fucking Zero fighter, and
Yeah.
they're like, fuck it, dude. Fucking imperial, like, my emperor is God. I'm gonna go. Like, it is insane, like that thought process. And if you can take that to anything you do, you're going to have success.
I don't know that I love anything.
You're
that
giving
much.
the same
exactly.
speech as
think I
the
love
Bills
it.
guy.
I know, but he had a point. And if you have like,
Well, okay,
like,
so
Arian,
has there ever been some like an
You have to-
example of this, Billy, where if you're a kamikaze fighter, you're dying for the glory of Japan, or if you're a jihadist, you're promised something in the afterlife, right? You get the virgins, you get to go to paradise, Valhalla, whatever you want to call it.
Which is wild.
Has there ever been somebody
to have virgins as a prize?
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
But with everybody, just with the jihadists, and
has there ever been like an example of someone who's been brainwashed into doing something suicidal like that does not have a promise of paradise on this? They just do it because they're just like, fuck it, I love this guy so much that I'm gonna just go for it.
First comment before we get to that, but like the hardest shit was special forces guys, like having a sign being like 72 virgin dating service, meaning like they're gonna send you.
I know
that was hard
guys,
as fuck.
Those guys, I hate special forces.
I can imagine
those guys.
interacting
All
with them.
those guys do is just sell fucking fentanyl at Fort Bragg and like get in drunk driving accidents. Plus, they expanded the special forces to be like half the army now.
There are a lot of the special forces.
I follow this Instagram page that's like a psyops, like it's people who are in psyops, which is a branch of the special forces now, but they're like not combat troops. And it's only them complaining that none of the other special forces give them any respect because they just use the computer all day.
They're like the Coast Guard.
Yeah, it is. They're like the Coast Guard of special forces. And they're like, yeah, everyone sticks to us, but we still have a beret, and like we're still we're still on the team. It's like, don't let them get. It's all like motivational stuff for getting bullied by other special forces.
Yeah, it's like kids are growing up and they're playing Rainbow Six from a young age, right? And they're like, I want to join the military so I can be in Delta Force.
Exactly.
And then not realizing that the vast majority of the military is not special forces. But they've been told that since they were a kid. It's everyone gets a trophy.
It's
generation.
way more brave to be like a guy in sandals with like a rifle than anyone. Special forces, I'm sorry, you get McDonald's. Like nobody in other sides of the war get McDonald's.
Dude, Shane Gillis had a great bit about this exact same construct we're talking about how like the guy, like he was talking about guys on YouTube with GoPros during war fighting, and he was talking about how much like the other side, the non-Americans, were just like so much more like quote unquote bros because they'd blow something up and just get so excited and like they'd be hyped up by like the smallest shit because like that's a big win for them, and they're just a bunch of bros in sandals like just going out getting after it, and like he relates more to them, which there's a lot of facts that the U.S. fighting force is the greatest fighting force on the face of the planet in history. Like they are like as we talked about, they 100%. Our fighting force now, they beat the shit out of the Spartans. The Spartans didn't go home. The Spartans wouldn't go out.
5'6" back then, dude.
They wouldn't go out, fight a war and then get back to McDonald's, dude. They had the protein, the nutrition, the fucking.
They didn't have guns.
Anabolics, the technology.
They didn't have guns.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like comparing like Bob Cousy to Kyrie Irving.
Here's my thing. I feel like if I got sent back in time, I could just trick a Spartan by telling about gravity or something.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's the element of like if any of us got
check out this paper plane.
Have you guys?
Like, do something from the science experiment from the science. Like,
watch this volcano.
Yeah.
I'm your god now.
Yeah.
The Earth is round. Yeah. And people are like, what? I never thought of that before.
Murder him.
I'm gonna add a ton of salt to this water and float, and you're gonna think I'm a witch.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I probably would have been if I was at the Salem thing, and they were like, "This chick's a witch." I'd be like, maybe.
I mean, I probably would 1,000% that happened.
I'd be like,
1,000. Like there was a dude who was like,
bro, is she? But you guys seem like you really think she is, so I'm probably not gonna stop you.
Well, we gotta talk about Epstein. How long have we been going?
It's been about almost.
It's been like 2.5 hours, so I think we're good.
The episode was us chilling.
It was us chilling. Us chilling.
I'll ruin the ending for you. He's bad and dead.
Epstein.
We'll do an update on the
this
latest
episode.
Epstein
For context,
releases.
fellow listeners out there, this episode was supposed to be about Epstein, but the banter was so cracking. Fuck that shit.
Well, we got the
I heard about
research.
animals.
We'll hang on to it.
ZD Flies is the name of this episode.
Yeah, ZD Flies.
ZD Flies.
Why zebras exist.
But thank you, Brace. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having
me. We love you. And
I love, by the way, Barstool Chicago is incredible.
Yeah.
Barstool New York, first thing that happens to me when you go in there, someone spits on you. Then you have to like. Then they
his
make
name's
you,
Nate.
They make you
White
walk
Kanye.
through this like horrible hall of mirrors where all of your enemies from your past come and like failure, 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 failure. And then someone fires you even if you don't work there. And then they're like, oh, Brace, actually, something really good's going to happen today. You're not going on macrodosing. You get to go on your favorite show ever, Call Her Daddy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that's so cool. And they're like, and the girls are so excited to see you. They love you. They want to talk to you. They heard you're really good at sex. They want to hear you tell everybody about it. And you're like, oh, my God. Fuck, I am good at sex. That's crazy you said that because the Hall of Mirrors guy said the exact opposite. And then you go up and then it's not the Call Her Daddy girls.
Yeah.
What you have is this massive, almost like a sepulcher, like a tomb there. And then there's these big columns and everything's shrouded in black. And at the end, there's one chair and you're like, is that the girls down there? I see some kind of shape, and you walk closely, and then there's fucking Billy. And he's oiled like a pig at a country fair, and he is just sitting there, eyes rolled back in his head, and just completely just wet, dripping in some kind of viscous, oily liquid, almost like he secreted it out of himself, wearing a loincloth, and there are just thousands of Bully XLs behind him, and his eyes sort of descend from their rolled back position, and he starts barking because he can talk to dogs. He starts barking, and they charge at you. And of course, Barstool has given you a weapon to deal with this, and you end up having to kill 50, 60, 70 Bully XLs with a Barrett 50 cal.
They should be illegal in England.
And it's fucked up. And then you leave, and you're like, "That's Bart. I thought this was a sports blog. I don't understand." And then they come down. The Call Her Daddy girls come down. Of course, they spit on you too because everyone has since you walked in. They're like, fighting dogs is a sport. And then you're subbed back into Midtown and you're mugged immediately, and then you end up having to go to Cava, Sweet Green, Big, all these different fucking places. It's bullshit, and they brand you, and they have an X-ray thing that only, like at the airport where you have to do this or whatever, but it only shows if you got a small dick, and so that everybody knows because they put it on their little fucking sports blog.
Put it on the website, Guess That Dick.
GuessThatDick.com, and sorry, that's not a sport. That's not a sport. And then they put you on the betting apps. How small a dick does Brace have? And they put centimeters, dude. You don't have to put fucking centimeters. It's in inches. It's just not that many of them. Fucking hate Barstool, but Barstool Chicago's fucking sick.
I hope you enjoyed your experience out here. Thank you, Brace.
Holy shit, yo.
Oh, Donnie's here. Perfect. This is great. So, Donnie, come on in. We're back on macrodosing. It is Thursday. It is February 22nd. Here, Donnie. Right
Salute our national hero.
We have a hero. We have a hero in our midst. Heroes walk among us. Donnie saved 200 lives yesterday on an airplane.
Big T, salute.
Potentially, yes.
No thanks.
Sounds like the flight from hell.
Big T hates heroes.
Man, saved.
Yeah.
First of all,
T
Billy's
wishes
saluting
the
with
guy
his
opened the
left
window.
hand. Second of all, you don't salute civilians. You don't salute as a civilian.
I salute heroes. I salute first responders. I salute offensive linemen.
I'll give you a fifth of a salute as you were 1/5 of the solution.
So Donnie,
it's given prison. I like my prison wars that I like my what do you say? Prison wars that don't get captured. What does he say?
Yeah,
soldiers that don't get captured.
That's what it's given that, Big T.
If the flight had gone down, then Donnie would be recognized as a hero, is what Big T is saying. I recognize Donnie as a hero, so I'm thankful that you're here today. And it seems like you were on the flight from hell yesterday. So can you just walk us through what happened?
Yeah, sure. So this was about 20 minutes into the flight. I just crushed some Panda Express and a tequila soda, and I was watching a movie, about to doze off, when I heard people yelling in the back.
What movie was it?
The Marvels.
Okay.
Not great. And yeah, I just thought maybe people were fighting. I turn around and there's one dude trying to yank open the plane door, and the other guy sitting next to him trying to rip him off the door. And so I hopped right out and I got over there. I was probably the third person on the scene trying to get him off the door. And Yeah, he was being very aggressive up until the point where we like got his hands off the door. Then he wasn't fighting back too much, but we still had to corral him. So we kind of got him into the aisle where I just sat on him.
Love it.
And then there were still no flight attendants. We were like, what should we do? So we were kind of just like, I was sitting on his back. Someone else was on his legs, another guy on his arms. And then the flight attendant brought over some duct tape. They taped up his legs. And then they got these things called flexi cuffs, like plastic handcuffs. We got those around his arms. And then 3 of the people carried him to the back of the plane where there was an empty row. And just plopped him down there. And we started making our way back to Albuquerque.
Damn. So there's a lot of questions that I have about this, but the first one that came to my mind is why do we just put people next to emergency exit doors that can be ripped open during a flight?
I've always wondered that too, because like I've been seated next to them, and I'm like, it's almost kind of tempting because you're like, it would be
a giant red handle. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just like, why do I have this much power over the plane?
Yeah.
I have heard that once a plane reaches cruising altitude, you like, even if you try to open it, you can't because there's too much pressure.
Yeah.
So if you want to get it open, it has to be in the first 20, 30 minutes of the flight. I'm also trying to wonder what would happen if he got it open, because didn't that happen maybe 6 months ago? They actually got the door open.
Well, it was like an explosive decompression, so the door blew off.
Yeah.
And that can be super dangerous if you're not buckled in.
Yes. So it's like, yeah, I would like to think I saved the whole plane, but even if he got it open, maybe we would have just lost like a couple people. But
you would have been lost. That's the thing. Like when you got up, you probably weren't thinking about this at the time. But but if there's a door that's blown open and you're out of your seat and you're standing nearby, you're gonna be sucked out.
Yeah, true.
You're gonna be sucked out, and the worst part of that is you're gonna be alive. Like you're gonna be falling and you're gonna be alive at that time until you pass out from lack of oxygen. Yeah. But yeah, as far as what would happen to the plane, I think that like anything that wasn't buckled in or nailed down would get sucked out, and then the pilot would have to descend to get down to more oxygen levels in the air. And if he wasn't able to get down fast enough, then everybody on the plane would pass out and die.
Yeah, shit.
So yeah, that's some scary stuff.
It was. I feel like at the moment I wasn't as nervous as like you would think. It was. I think it's just because I've rehearsed this scenario in my mind like multiple times.
Yeah.
And it was like once I looked back and I was like, all right, it's one dude trying to get the door open. He's not armed. It's not a guy like saying he has a bomb or anything. So I was like, if we can get 4 people on this one big dude, we should be able to get him in the aisle pretty easily.
Any punches thrown?
No, I did not throw a punch. I put him in a headlock at one point. And then I was like, if this guy was super violent, my hands were so close to his mouth, he could have just bit off my finger. But he it seemed like he sort of gave up after we got him off the door.
Did he seem like he was fucked up on anything, or was it he wanted to kill himself?
I guess someone said they talked to him before we boarded the plane, and they were like, he was as nice as could be. And then I think when he first started to open the door, he was like, I got to get off this plane. Get me off this plane. So I think he just had some sort of nervous breakdown.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Has there been like any like subsequent like interviews or statements from him?
No, I think the FBI is doing like a deep dive trying to figure out why he would try to open the door.
Has Hank tried to date him?
Yeah, what's his at?
He was a big boy.
Yes, he was a big boy. So there were you and 4 other people that had to wrestle him.
Yeah, imagine like a Brandon Walker, but 10 years younger.
So that's like a 50-year-old Brandon Walker.
Yeah, that's a pretty big boy. It was kind of Big T vibes actually.
I would never do such a thing.
No.
Did we ever get a motive?
No, like the thing is, the whole time this was going on, and like I was on top of him, he was completely quiet. He wasn't like, oh, fuck me, I'm so fucked. He was completely quiet.
Did anybody talk shit to him afterwards? I feel like that's what I would have wanted to do. And again, I say this as somebody that has not been in the experience, but I feel like in my own mind, if I were to stop a guy, because I've rehearsed it too in my head, You subdue the person, you move him to the back, maybe you punch him a couple times, be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then afterwards you're like, why the fuck did you do that, bro? What's your fucking deal? There'd be a lot of what's your fucking problems.
Yeah, it was so chaotic at the moment. I think there probably one of the guys was like, stay down, like.
Yeah, bitch. That's right, bitch. Try that again on my plane.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so fucking jealous.
Stop resisting. Anybody say stop resisting?
Probably. I don't know. I think my first move and I got over because like someone was already on his shoulders. I think I grabbed him by the hair at first.
That's a good move.
Yeah.
How long after do you wait to ask people around like, hey, did you get any of that on film?
So I knew that while this was going down, while I was sitting on the guy in the aisle, I looked back and my wife had her phone out. So that like after we got him to the back of the plane, I was like, do you think I could see some of that footage?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see the footage. I just saw the picture.
Yeah, there's like new clips of like footage that I haven't even seen yet that have since dropped.
Different angles and stuff.
Yeah, different angles. You can kind of see my ass crack in one. You can.
That's allowed. If you're saving a plane, you're allowed to show the ass.
Yeah.
Was your wife like my hero?
She was very impressed.
Yeah, that's cool. That's like that is a dream. It's like you look like you actually did a very heroic thing.
Yeah.
But then the added benefit is that everybody around you gets to be like, wow, look at that guy. He's so cool.
Yeah. 2 people afterwards bought me a beer. And one guy just walked up and handed me $20.
That's awesome. He tipped you?
Yeah. And I go, no, I can't take this. And he was like, no, you have to take it.
That's awesome.
How good do those beers taste?
The beers were great. Yeah, we had a solid like 2 or 3 hours at the bar because we thought we were just going to reboard and then fly then, but they made us wait. And then they're like, no, we're not flying out until tomorrow.
Were you flying out with a lot of people from the initial flight?
Yeah, it was pretty much the same people.
Did they give you a hero's welcome on the way in?
I got some compliments. It was cool after we brought him to the back. The whole plane broke out into applause.
That's awesome.
That was pretty sweet.
Did you give a bow?
I did not give a bow
You're a
because
wave
I didn't
guy.
want to
Yeah,
make
you're
it
a
all
wave
about
guy.
me. It was not just me. It
You're a
was
wave guy.
it was a team effort. I think there was like 4 or 5 people that were very pivotal. And I think it was probably most terrifying for the guy that was sitting directly next to him.
Yeah.
Because then you just look over and at that point, no one else on the plane knows what's happening. And you're like, okay, I can try to grab him, but how long is it going to take for other people to help?
Mm-hmm.
So that like was definitely the scariest position to be in. When I got over, I think there were already 2 other people trying to get him off.
Was this dude was he seated like right next to the door or was he in like the middle seat and had to reach over?
No, he was seated right next to the door.
That seems like it was probably planned then. Yeah.
Although someone said that they were like, oh, he tried to offer me his seat before the flight. So maybe he like knew, he's like, I'm way too crazy to be sitting next to this door. I'm gonna try to yank it open. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised too that the flight attendants just carry duct tape on them.
I think that's probably their main tool.
Have you ever seen some of the people get duct taped?
I know, I've never seen it. I didn't know that they did that on flights.
Dude, it's actually really messed up. I saw this one video of this really drunk dude who was bragging about how rich his parents were. And he like was getting out of control. And then they just duct taped him to the seat. And it was probably the most like embarrassing sequence of event for this dude of all time. You'll be able to find it online. Drunk dude brags about parents being rich and then gets duct taped to the freaking seat. And he had the duct tape in his mouth and he was like trying to speak through it.
I think that's an appropriate response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously he wasn't like duct taped to the seat because he was saying his parents were rich. He was probably doing something else.
Oh yeah. He was doing other stuff, but it was just this guy was the worst.
Yeah.
And he was probably coming back from spring break and he was just hammered.
So how many layers of duct tape did it take to get around his legs to hold him still?
I couldn't tell you. Someone was looking out for this guy's safety too, because when first he was face down in the aisle and I was sitting on him, and then they're like, we need to get him on his side so he can still breathe and stuff. Like I wouldn't.
Oh, fuck that guy.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of awkward if we all just like had accidentally killed him while we're trying to subdue him.
What airline?
American airline.
It's not one you'd think.
Were you thinking Spirit? You think Donnie's flying Spirit?
No. I was just Southwest. Even you could see something like that happening. Yeah. American, I'd put in the top 3.
Yeah.
Give me your top 3. What's your top 3?
Delta undisputed number 1. I'd go United 2, and then American 3.
Solid. Okay.
Yeah, I mean those are the 3 largest in the U.S., right?
Probably
for sure.
3 most reputable.
I got this text from Donnie. I was texting him randomly about something else, and I just get this text. Me and 5 dudes just saved a play. Or let me find the exact text. It was hilarious.
Billy may have been the first person I texted about it, just because I just wanted to rub it in his face. Yeah. I knew he would have so much FOMO.
Dude, I got so much FOMO, and I was on a plane, so I was just like, I wish someone would.
Billy
I wish someone would.
Tackles a random guy on the plane.
Billy goes up and like whispers to the guy on the exit row. That red handle looks pretty good, doesn't it?
So I go, so this is the text I get from Donnie. Some guy just tried to open the door of our plane after takeoff. 5 of us had to wrestle him to the ground. We're headed back to the departure airport now. And I just get this text randomly, like right after I said something else. And I was just like, it was right as my plane was hitting no Wi-Fi, no service.
Oh, damn.
So then I replied 2 hours later with what I thought would go through. Then I was like, oh shit. And I was just like saying there like, oh man, I wish this happened when we were like on a plane together. I wish this was going to happen right now. Cause it's just like, you get to unleash on a dude. Like you train, like, I don't know, maybe it's just me. There's the man in the cave theory where there's just a guy out there that you're going to meet in combat one day and you have to train to beat him. Donnie met his man in the cave on a plane who tried to open a window.
Yeah. I mean, and I wouldn't say I fully unleashed on him. Like I wasn't like throwing any punches at his face. Because I don't know if that would have helped the situation. Like if I punched him in the face, it may have just made him like more mad and been like, fuck it. Now I'm really going to open this thing.
That's probably true. Yeah.
This dude probably, he probably just was thinking of a way out.
I think he had probably some sort of nervous breakdown or a mental break.
Yeah. Bad place to have it. So were you scared getting on the flight the second time?
The second flight, no, because that's not going to happen twice.
Yeah. Actually, like statistically speaking, you can fly for the rest of your life without any worries whatsoever.
I'd like to think so. Yeah. I think I'm good.
I need to take more planes.
But
Donnie's probably been on the most of like plane time the most out of most people.
So like when I posted the photo and told people what happened, all the comments were like, this has been happening so much in planes these days. Like the flying experience has completely gone down the drain. Like it was all negative, being like, this shit happens all the time. But I can think of that one situation that happened on Alaskan Airlines, but have things like this been happening more on planes?
I think we just have more phones and more people are taking videos.
I don't know that situation specifically, but I do see fights and people being belligerent on planes all the time.
Flight attendants have also, I've heard different flight attendants say, like, yeah, things have gotten worse in terms of people talking back, people disobeying orders, getting belligerent on planes. I don't know if it's happened more frequently or we just see it more. But I've never experienced anything like that on a plane. Like a couple people being loud and some minor arguments, but that's it.
Yep. I had someone faint on a plane once, and the flight attendant came running back, and she goes, "We have a code red. We have a code red." And that's all I heard at first, and that is terrifying to hear on a plane because you think a code red means like the engines are down, like brace for impact. But apparently it was just that like a woman fainted in the bathroom.
Yeah,
which, like that should not be a code red.
That should be like, code like orange,
yellow. That's yellow.
Yeah,
still breathing. No like immediate threat to themselves or others. Yeah,
I didn't know that airport staff only use code red in the event of a real emergency at the airport or on the plane. If you hear this code while on the plane, know that there is a serious reason for it. Pilots are instructed to land at the nearest possible suitable airport in the event of a code red.
Yeah, so that was not a code red when the lady fainted.
This was definitely a code red, though.
Yeah.
That's code red, yeah.
So
that had to be the best term he's ever.
I think so, yes.
Post code red, yeah.
Like that adrenaline rush booze is dope.
One of the guys who bought me some beers afterwards, he's actually a fan of Barstool. So that was cool, too. He was like, oh, the Wonton Don's in my flight. He just saved the day with 4 other dudes.
I'm seeing if I have any cash to give you. As a thank
I only
you.
take 20s.
You only take 20? No. I think I've got a 1.
I would take I would take a 5. I think a 1.
What about a vape?
Oh, yes.
Donnie, thank you for your
Perfect.
service.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, not you can't have the whole thing. You just get the. Yeah, you're basically a flight marshal right now, which is pretty cool. And I'm thankful that you're safe, Donnie, because that could have turned out much worse. But yeah.
So how was Albuquerque though, man? I know that's where you was coming from, right?
Albuquerque was cool. Yeah, my older brother moved there pretty recently. He lived in the Santa Fe area, but now he lives right outside of Albuquerque. They got some great green chilies.
It's different, huh?
Yeah, green chili cheeseburgers.
Yeah, man, I missed that shit though. That shit's so good.
Yo, did you see Bigfoot?
I did not have a chance to go searching for Bigfoot.
No, but you remember we were talking about your bro?
My older brother claims that there was a guy who says he saw Bigfoot on this ranch, and then the federal government reached out and made them sign something to say they would stop talking about it publicly. Which it's like, why would the federal government get involved if there's nothing there?
Because Bigfoot's an interdimensional being.
Yeah. Also, why would the federal government get involved even if Bigfoot was real? If you just see like a crazy animal, is the government going to come to you and be like, "Hey, you need to shut the fuck up about this animal"?
Yeah. Maybe it would be like the wildlife, like
game warden.
Yeah.
Yeah. A park ranger shows up.
Dude, so remember we were talking about interdimensional UFOs?
Yeah.
Well, they think that like UFOs are people from the future and Bigfoot might be a hominid from the past that's traveling through interdimensional space.
So like the future went way back to the past, found Bigfoot, and then they came back to the present with their like trophy that they found in the past.
No, like the rifts from their interdimensional travel causes like other rifts, like ripples elsewhere where Bigfoot sometimes stumbles in and out.
What a silly guy.
But we haven't seen like humans from the past, right? Like, yeah, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, he went back in time. But has there ever been somebody that's
ghosts?
Yeah, anybody that's like teleported from the past, like a regular person that just shows up and it's like, whoa, I grew up in the 1800s. Now we have porn on a computer. This rocks.
Well, someone said that. Someone said they were a time traveler.
Yeah, there have been a lot of people who have claimed to be time travelers.
Yeah, that's
most
a good
of them
bit.
are crazy.
I would like one of you guys to take that bit up.
If I get hit in the head, I'll pretend.
I think the best thought exercise about this, and someone wrote a whole book about it, but it's like if you went back in time, could one modern day army battalion or a modern day army squad of maybe 100 people defeat a Roman legion of 10,000 people?
Yeah, I think so.
No
artillery, machine guns.
It depends on how much ammo they have.
It'd take 15 minutes.
And it depends on how far away they started from you.
Yeah,
like what the distance. If it's like 100 yards, no, you're going to die.
And if you
mean hand-to-hand
if you had like
combat,
a tank, yeah, I guess it all depends on how much ammunition, whether you had like a tank or a helicopter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think someone wrote a whole book about it.
I bet a SEAL team could penetrate any fortress and kill the king within it from any time period. If like it officially ends when the king's dead.
I agree.
So
yeah, but I guess the only question would be how many people are guarding versus how many people in a SEAL team. Like, are we talking about the raid that killed bin Laden?
Yeah, the raid that killed bin Laden, using stealth as well, could get in and out of any fortress.
Like some SEAL team gets to be in another conversation about, hey, I got an idea for this horse, man. Right? We all get inside of the horse.
Oh, that was the biggest crock of shit ever. Like what a bunch of dummies. Except, oh, that's a really nice gift. Let's bring it in. I still think that the Statue of Liberty has a bunch of French soldiers inside.
They're just waiting on their moment.
No, they were supposed to get out like a year after it arrived, and then they couldn't get the door open. They all suffocated or died of starvation. And there's a bunch of French skeletons in there. Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Donnie,
maybe German.
Why German?
Got my dates wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
All good. Donnie, Last Chance Uganda.
Yes.
Talk about what's come out and what we can expect to come out soon.
So tomorrow night, we have a recap of me and Billy's gorilla trek. one of the only times in the series where Billy was completely right about something that I thought he was wrong about. So this is a great moment for Billy.
Okay. So by tomorrow night, you mean Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So
tonight, if you're listening to this.
Tonight. Yeah.
Get ready if you're listening right now on Thursday, because it's going to be good.
Yeah. So that's the Gorilla Trek. And then from here on out, it's just going to be football content. I went on Good Morning America to talk about the plane incident, and I tried to plug the series. I don't think they used that, but I told them it was going to be the best football content since Remember the Titans.
All right.
I thought last episode was going to be the worst episode, like the lamest. It was amazing. There's so much stuff I forgot about that was just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, also, I handed out a bunch of protein bars to a bunch of children. I did not think through whether it would give them digestive issues. I just was trying to give whatever I had at the moment.
Oh,
they were some heavy protein bars. They're body, like 40 grams each. But they wanted candy, and that was the closest thing I had to candy.
Yeah, they were probably pumped. I don't think is it bad to give a kid 40 grams of protein?
I don't think it's bad. It might make him shit. It might give him a tummy ache. But yeah. I think Billy's heart was in the right place on that one.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there was a brief moment of panic after you gave them all away, and you're like, oh no, I have no more protein for the rest of the trip. I'm going to have to start eating local meat.
I love that you went on Good Morning America too.
Yeah.
That rocks. I got to find that news clip. Well, thank you for joining us, Donnie.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. And
I don't need to take your whole vape.
No, you can have it. You can have it. That's just less vape than I'll want to use. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Better that you have it. Thanks, Donnie.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it was good seeing you too.
All right, that was Donnie. He's the best. Hero. Heroes walk among us, guys. Sparks are a dual-action prescription treatment that give men stronger, harder erections. They're in a unique sublingual form, and after they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. Rose Sparks works faster than other treatments because they dissolve under the tongue and they go directly into the bloodstream. Dissolvables hit the bloodstream faster than old-school pills. Why does that matter? Because when the mood's right, he'll be ready. No more waiting for pills to kick in. Plus, Rose Sparks stay active in the system for up to 36 hours. No, you don't stay hard that whole time, but when you get aroused, you'll get hard without the waiting. With Rose Sparks, guys will get more confidence in bed, more satisfaction from their partners, and more control when it's sexy time. Ro connects guys with medical provider 100% online, so you don't have to waste time in waiting rooms. If approved, treatment ships directly to their door. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/macro. Find out if prescription Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/macro and get $15 off your order.
Did you have a plan of like getting a job if you weren't able to play in the NFL?
No. And that was not a good thing, but at the time I thought it was great. I have on one of my, I think it was like I had a 30 for 30 ESPN something, whatever. I don't think it's a 30 for 30. What was it called? I don't know, 360. One of those. I have like this thing where I was when I was in the league, I went back to my high school and I'm telling all these kids like, yo, you should go dream and you should only have one dream and sell it all and just die for that shit. You got to be able to die for that shit. And it's just the most irresponsible thing I could tell a gym full of high school students.
You probably talked to that 25-year-old who can't get a job.
Yeah, well, there was
follow my dream.
It's bad. Yeah, that's horrible, right? So it's like if I could have that same group and I was have that same conversation, I'd be like, you need a plan A, you need a plan B, you need a plan C and a D. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be responsible about your future rather than selling it all on a dream. Now, it worked for me, but the odds of that happening are 0.01%. So I happened to be in that 0.01%, which was cool, but it just wasn't very smart. But I look smart in the end, right? But I didn't have a backup plan.
I think there is, I'm not saying don't have a backup plan because you should, but I think there is something to like burning the boats and being like, if you want this badly enough, you will do what it takes to make it happen.
Yes, but I think you have to be realistic with yourself. I was like, when I look back at myself and I'm realistic with myself, I had the natural ability or what seemed like the natural ability. Okay. So I was this much better than everybody else around me, right? I was way ahead of that. Right. So off rip, I'm ahead of the curve. I had a father who taught me how to work, how to run hills. So I'm 12 years old, running hills. I'm lifting weights. I'm doing things at that age that just are not normal, right? So I had incentive from my upbringing to burn the boats, but most people can't look at themselves realistically and say, okay, where am I at realistically? Like I talk to people my age, right, who are trying to figure it out. Like, look, where are you at? I talk about this with people with finances all the time, right? Because finances is like a really taboo topic. And so when people are talking about their finances, I'm like, you got to be honest about where you at. If you have $3,000 in your bank account, that's how much you have in your bank account. Don't front, don't lie. That's where we at. And if this is where we at, we know what we need to do to get to where we want to go, right? But you got to be honest with yourself. I think a lot of people can't have that honest conversation with themselves. Like, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to go. And this is the steps I need to take in order to get to where I want to go. And in my particular case, it's just rare that shit happens. So I think you can still work with the same amount of rigor, but also have a fail safe and a safety net. I think both things are possible. Yeah.
To answer the question, though, I was going to say being able to get along and talk to very different types of people who think differently than you. Well, he said, what from macrodosing could you say would be a skill in a different job?
Oh, a skill. Honestly, I've hung around a lot of white people, but never in this much capacity. You know what I'm saying? Like, real shit. Like, so, like,
are we the white people you've talked to the most in your whole life?
Oh, yes, by far. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got a Mexican homeboy. I have white friends, but like, I talk to y'all 3 hours twice a week over the 3-year period. That's a long ass time.
I'm gonna get a banner over here that says Arian Foster top 5 white people of all time. I'm gonna put it right there next between his jersey and Aaron.
Have I been the most black?
Yeah, probably.
Y'all talk to? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
who? Oh, you got a homeboy though, right?
I have a couple. I have teammates. 3 years.
But I've had white teammates, but this is okay. Let's say we're talking about.
I talk to you guys more than most people I know. Period.
That's what I'm saying. So like in college, like, well, I have teammates and stuff, but because I'm interacting with doesn't mean necessarily I talk to them in depth. In like, I mean, we talk about politics, religion, space, love, everything. Like, I know y'all better than most people probably know you, and y'all know me probably better than most people know me, right? Because we spend so much time together. I can't say every white person I've interacted with, or black in general, but for the sake of this conversation, like in general, like you don't talk to people in depth like that on a day-to-day basis, even in like your acquaintances. So it's like, yeah, the homies.
That's actually the better of being one of Arian's top 5 white people. It's if somebody ever says, oh, I have a black friend, I'll be like, oh yeah, my black friend, Arian Foster. Yeah.
And I'm in his top 5
and he said I'm one of his top 5 white people. So
I'm in the top 5.
I am going to get a banner printed with that. I'm looking into that right now.
That is hilarious.
Arian Foster's top 5 white people.
Yeah.
That shit's funny, man.
All right, top 5 on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Top 5.
There was one company that didn't. And Jeff, it's interesting that I was on the dozen earlier. The show hasn't come out yet, but I can say that one of the questions was about thick burgers.
Yep.
And Hardee's, they decided, they were like, fuck you guys, we're going to get big with our burgers and make them less healthy for you while everybody else is getting super healthy. Not only are we going to make them very unhealthy burgers, but we're also just going to have Paris Hilton showing her tits off in a commercial for it.
Kate Upton. Shout out to Hardee's.
Yeah, they knew what America really wanted. Yeah. And then their CMO, I think it was a CMO at the time, he came out and made a bunch of statements like, yeah, if you're on a diet, fuck you. Like, you're not eating this burger.
Hardee's most underrated meal at any fast food restaurant is Hardee's breakfast. Great breakfast at Hardee's.
I don't think I've had a Hardee's breakfast. What's it like?
It's good. There's good stuff. I haven't been in a long time.
I had this take a long time ago. Hardee's overperforms, In-N-Out lets down. Like Hardee's is bad. Like you can walk away from In-N-Out. Jeff, are you an In-N-Out fan?
I mean, I'm someone who likes all regional things. Like I'm from Texas, so I'm a Whataburger person. I also live in Southern California. I'll tell you what, I roll up to an In-N-Out and I get that In-N-Out fresh and down. I'm fantastic.
So I went to a Hardee's not expecting anything special, and I got my pants knocked off. I went to an In-N-Out and I was just kind of like, oh, this is average. But the Hardee's outperformed.
So people have gassed up In-N-Out too much?
Yeah. But no one's
gassed up. It's a common
Hardee's.
take. It's very simple. It's simple, fresh ingredients. Make everything right there. Fries are cut fresh. I personally love In-N-Out, but I also like, well, it's Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, whatever you want to say. I like Carl's Jr. Like I do. I also prefer Burger King over McDonald's, and that's like the Flame Broil Whopper thing. That's how Carl's Jr. makes their burgers. So,
dude, I think I actually had Hardee's in the Nairobi airport in Kenya, and I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, Hardee's Nairobi.
Yeah, there's
oh my god,
In-N-Out's fine. I think it's a fine burger. It's a good burger, but sometimes people are like, I thought that this was going to be life changing, and then In-N-Out's not life changing. It's just
a cheap fast food burger, but it's also the quality is great.
It's really cheap and it's a good burger for sure.
Yeah.
Hardee's, I need to try their breakfast at some point. But I think we can all agree McDonald's fries great. Whataburger, I prefer Whataburgers to McDonald's burgers. So I would go to Whataburger, get a burger, then I drive across the street to McDonald's, get McDonald's fries.
Spicy ketchup as well.
I'm okay. I'm fine with McDonald's. I'm fine with Whataburger fries. I got no problem with them. They're not McDonald's, but I'm fine.
No,
they're
soggy. They're soggy.
They are a bit flaccid.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, but I get like I'm gonna go in and sit down at the restaurant guy too. Also, my mom has always lived by one. It's like I'm taking it home. It's like takes just a minute or two to get them home anyway. But the spicy ketchup, you could put a piece of shit in that. That spicy ketchup. It tastes great.
I'd never had Whataburger until like maybe a year ago. They just built one near where my parents live, and I've been a couple times. It's good stuff.
They also have, sorry, PFC. They also have. Did you try the spicy #2 ketchup? Have you had that?
No, what is that?
It was like a white packet, and they only let you have like 1 or 2 per order. The spicy 2 was unreal.
Wait, so this is a spicier spicy ketchup?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get that next time I'm in Nashville.
It's not always. It's very rare, but like the spicy 2, and they put you on a limit too.
I'm gonna see if you can buy this online. Jeff, I just bought 11 packs of the Whataburger spicy ketchup limited batch #2 on eBay. I hope these are like safe.
Spicy 2.
11 packs for $10.
Spicy 2.
Spicy 2.
See, people are like, oh, Culver's, Whataburger, In-N-Out. No, I'm Galaxy Brain. I like them all.
Yeah, you don't have to limit yourself. That's what.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. What are you arguing about? Like, I like all.
Like people get into big battles about Five Guys or In-N-Out. It's like I enjoy both products.
Guess what? Yeah, they're both both good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
You don't have to pledge allegiance to just one. Like they're all fun. They're all good. Yeah.
I have a conspiracy theory, actually. I'm glad I get to unveil this on Macrodosing. I think that the fries that they serve in the Comedy Cellar in New York City are McDonald's fries. I think that there's a tunnel because there's a McDonald's that's down the block. It's like
closed.
Oh, they closed that up?
Closed.
And that was the Big Daddy McDonald's.
Because that was right down the street from my apartment. I went there all the time.
So somebody tell me, do they still sell the fries in the Comedy Cellar basement?
Yeah, you got to go figure that out now. That's great. Now you got your answer now.
I could, because I had them, and I was like, these fries are fucking awesome. And I kept eating them, and then I was like, wait a second, these are just McDonald's fries.
Yeah, that was the Big Daddy McDonald's, right?
I'm not sure.
I remember you broke the news to me because you tweeted about it, so it makes sense that would be why you tweeted about it.
Mm-hmm.
A sketchy McDonald's.
Very shady.
It is the McDonald's in Big Daddy. Because if that's based off where Comedy Cellar is, then it's right there, yeah.
There's a little park right there you could sit at and eat it, though. It was a nice little spot.
Yep.
Steve Nash used to play at that
when
place.
I worked at Sunlight.
When I worked at Good Morning America, I think it's the right McDonald's, I was coming home from a Christmas party with Around the Horn Zone, Tony Reale. And we split an Uber. and we were waiting outside. I think this was McDonald's. I may be wrong. Regardless, it's the McDonald's story, so I'll tell it. We waited in McDonald's. It was snowing out. We wanted to wait for the Uber, and somebody outside, there was a massive fight, and pinned the guy up against the window of McDonald's, beating his face in, and then they stopped and they came in and they ordered McDonald's. It was like they got over their tiff and they were like, let's go eat it. Let's get a Big Mac.
That's how it should be. It's like a hockey
I
fight.
think it was at McDonald's.
Shake hands with the guy afterwards. Have a Big Mac together.
Right next to Joe's Pizza. Good
Yep.
little corner right there.
If anybody wants to know, it's the 136 West 3rd on the corner of 3rd and 6th Ave.
Well,
Someone's got to figure that out about the comedy. So now you get your answer now.
That is an interesting theory.
I got to go back. I've never been more sure of anything in my life than they were importing fries. So yeah, Jeff, you love McDonald's. It's very clear that you have a passion for fast food.
Yep.
But unfortunately, you are a distant second in terms of the most passionate person in America for fast food and McDonald's.
Hang on. I have to interrupt you. You're not going to fucking believe this. Do you know who bought the closed down McDonald's next to the Comedy Cellar?
Louis C.K.
The guy who owns the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah, yep. And he's probably still keeping their fry operation going.
That's crazy.
The notoriously chaotic fast food location traded hands to the owner of the iconic Comedy Cellar, Noam Dworman. Dworman purchased the building at 136 West 3rd Street in Greenwich Village for $7.3 million.
So is he going to still run the McDonald's as a franchise, or he just bought?
He bought the building. I don't know.
And
he
they
told
left
the Post of his
equipment.
plans to open a
Got
third
the
comedy club
equipment,
in the city.
But then you still need the supply.
Oh, so
And
he's
they're
turning
not-
it into a new comedy club, it looks like.
He bought the fry machine. How much did he pay it for?
Yeah, but the
7.3
fry
million.
machine isn't special. It's the fry makeup that's special. Because can we look up the actual composition of McDonald's fry? Because I don't know if it's 100% potatoes.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
that's
they tell
important.
Well, it's important how they slice them and how they probably blanch the fries, get some of the starch out, make it crispy, salty.
Because so this is the ingredients: potatoes, vegetable oil, hydrogenated soybean oil, natural beef flavor, wheat and milk derivatives,
Mhm.
The
dextrose.
beef flavor is what people say is the key.
That's like the oil they fry it in, right?
Yeah, they say like there's I've watched a lot of like copycat McDonald's like videos, and they say the beef part of it is a big part of McDonald's fries.
Sodium acid pyrophosphate, salt. Yeah. So that's what's in it. And they're probably that sodium acid pyrophosphate and dextrose probably keep the construction of the fry, because like when you like McDonald's fries look like McDonald's fries for like a week. Like, have you guys ever accidentally eaten McDonald's fries like way after they've been bought?
They don't really keep that well.
No, they look exactly the same. That's like part of their.
But they don't taste the same.
Right, they don't taste the same, but they look the same.
Who amongst us has not eaten a McDonald's fry off the seat of a car 6 hours after you purchase a McDonald's?
Give it 3 days.
Yeah,
I thought it was fresh McDonald's.
I've always thought that cars should have the cup holders, and then there should be a fry holder in between the cup holders that's specifically made for the dimensions of like a fast food fry container.
Didn't Burger King they made their fry containers specifically to fit in cup holders?
They did
the fry pod.
They did a cup one time. But can you imagine that, just having a fry holder?
Yeah, it'd be great. But everywhere's a little different shape.
But you can still just do a rectangle. One
Yeah.
size fits all. Maybe a collapsing fry holder. But yeah, Jeff, I want to bring this guy up because you do love fast food, but there's somebody that loves fast food more than you. The GOAT, Don Gorske.
Don Gorske.
And
That
this
piece of shit.
Jeff
A fucking
also
liar. A fucking liar.
Jeff hates this guy. So
Wait, you think he's not telling the
I've
truth?
hated this John Lennon looking ass liar for years.
So Don Gorske is a 70-year-old Wisconsin man, and he is the Guinness World Record holder for the most Big Macs eaten in a lifetime. He has consumed more than 34,000 Big Macs. He ate 728 of them in 2023 alone because he eats 2 every single day. And he's skinny. He had his first one, after he got his first car in 1972, the first place he went was to McDonald's. He claims he has only eaten 1 Burger King Whopper in his life because his friend bet him $5 to do it. Gorske said he never ate another Whopper, and he used the money from his friend to buy more Big Macs. He met his wife in 1973. That's the year after he began eating Big Macs on a near daily basis, and he proposed to her in a McDonald's parking lot 3 years later. He ate a Big Mac before the start of their wedding ceremony. He's eaten almost 35,000 Big Macs, Jeff. How can you hate this guy?
Yeah, he crossed the 34,000 mark like a week ago.
He's the GOAT.
He's full of shit. First off, I just don't. Also, even if he is, he's an asshole. Just an ass.
Why do you think he's full of shit?
Yeah, on Christmas I gotta make sure there's Big Macs getting made like in the house. He puts them in his freezer. He goes and he buys extra, puts them in his freezer in case he can get out of the house. He's like disrupting his family's meals to make sure they got McDonald's. His wife has a hard cooked meal. Just a struggle to get this on the table on Christmas Day, and he's like, nope, gotta have my Big Mac. It's you know what it is too. The fact that he just looks like fucking John Lennon. Give it up. Give it up.
So he says that he has OCD, and that plays a big part in him eating all this Big Mac.
Fair. I'll give him a tip of the cap on that. Fair.
So you don't believe it. You think that he
something about
inflates
this
his
guy
stats?
stinks. Just something about him just rubs me the wrong way.
He does have a very weird look to him, doesn't he?
And the comedy makes the movies like, I've only had a Whopper one time. Somebody bet me $5, but shut the fuck up.
How many Big Macs would you say you've eaten?
Me, not a ton, because Big Mac's not my go-to. I do like Big Mac, but it's not my go-to.
So he
healthy
claims
as
that
a horse. He's right in the area. He's not far off from you guys.
Yeah, he should come down to the office at some point. Gorske says that he skips breakfast every day, and the other food that he eats is a small evening snack like ice cream, a fruit bar, or potato chips. He said that his favorite food besides Big Macs was lobster, but in 2024, he said the last time he ate lobster was over 28 years ago. So this is all that he eats is Big Macs.
He doesn't really go much anymore. I do believe he buys them in large batches and freezes them like once every other week or so, something like that.
Those can't be good.
No,
and those can't be tracked.
Disgusting. It's just these freezer burn waterlogged Big Macs. He's just downing like 4 or 5 times a day. Ugh.
So he walks in and he orders like 50 Big Macs at a time.
Yeah, he orders like a huge like a pallet of Big Macs basically.
And he's in relatively good shape, but that's because he only eats Big Macs. He unintentionally invented intermittent fasting. He'll just have like dessert in the evening, and then he won't eat another thing until it's Big Mac time, baby.
Hey, what great PR team though. Jesus Christ, you search him, every story is from a week ago about the 34,000 Big Macs.
He does have a solid PR team for sure. He's always in the news. His Wikipedia page. He has a Wikipedia page for eating Big Macs. You get famous for anything in America. Jerry has been... It all started with the eclipse with Jerry. Mm-hmm. Once you found out the eclipse was coming, the wheels started turning, and you met a highly sourced individual on a plane. How long ago was this?
So this was Super Bowl. We were going to Vegas, and I never flew first class before. So I decided, fuck it, we're going to Vegas. I'm going to upgrade myself to first class, which I did. It was like $300. I could afford it. Went to first class. So because I want to say that because people are commenting like, oh, who's in 27C with you? You know, what I mean? This guy was flying first class, okay, with me. And we talked. This had nothing to do with solar eclipse or anything.
Are you a talking guy on a plane?
I let them decide if they want to be. If they are, then I'm all in.
Yeah.
Then I want to talk the whole flight, which we did, which was great. So this is a guy. I'm not going to say his name. He did say I can reveal where he works, though.
Okay.
So I will do that. So this is a guy on the plane, super nice. Didn't know who I was or anything like that. We got to talking about what he does for work, what I do for work. He's like, oh, I never heard of this company. You know, it seems cool, whatever. And then he brought up Malaysia. He's like, have you watched anything good recently? And I'm like, oh, no, not really. He's like, dude, you should really watch this Malaysia documentary, The Missing Airplane. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll give it a try.
On a plane? He wanted you to watch that while you're riding on a plane?
Which I knew what Malaysia, the missing airplane or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a watch. By the way, excellent watch.
Mhm.
Really fucking good.
Is that the Netflix one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Anyway, that happens. Great guy. He was going to the Fontainebleau for a conference for his company. Now, I will reveal where he works. Apple.
Okay. He told me you were saying like one of the biggest software companies in the world.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't say where it was.
Yeah.
But now you can reveal.
Yeah, Apple.
Apple, that's one of the big ones.
Yeah. So he works at Apple.
Okay.
So I will say that. I won't. He said, do not ever mention my name. And I promised him I would never.
Okay.
So that happens. We exchanged phone numbers. Divorced guy in his 40s, 50s, around there. Couple kids, and wife pretty much left because he's working all the time and stuff like that. Not a nasty divorce by any means. Super cordial.
You're giving away a lot of information about this guy whose name you're not supposed to reveal.
I think it'd be really hard to find him.
Okay.
I mean,
what color was his hair?
No hair.
Okay, so bald,
tall guy, late 40s, divorced,
I'm done.
Apple. Got it.
I'm done.
I'll
Steve
find it by the
Jobs.
end of the show.
Yeah. Oh, was this Steve Jobs?
No, it wasn't. He's a chubbier guy. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
All right. We won't ask you anymore.
done.
Last four of his social.
So nothing. I don't know that. So anyway, we remained in contact.
Yeah.
We were supposed to, get dinner a few times. Just my schedule didn't really work out with his. He's from, my area, not my. This is just. I'm not.
All right.
You're not going to reveal who it is.
Apple employee, Chicago, bald, divorced, late 40s.
No, he's from He's from Jersey.
No, he's not from Jersey.
Not from Jersey.
No.
He's from New York City.
No.
Oh, you said Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
So anyway, we remained in contact. Super nice, very, very religious. Super religious to the point where it's like, like
Just say his name at this point.
I think it's still gonna be really hard to find this guy.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
No, we won't find him. We won't find him.
Should I say anything else? No, right?
Say whatever you want.
I'm trying to explain
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
What does he work in?
yes.
What does he work in? How does he know
I can't.
things?
I'm not gonna. I don't want. He works at Apple.
Okay.
That's all. He is. Probably, I'd say top 25 to 50 guys at Apple.
Okay.
I would say, just based on me doing like research on him and stuff like that.
And like the level of information he was able to give you.
Yeah, but like he never has ever given me. So this is where
He's in first class, so he's a heavy hitter.
Yeah, and I'm like, people are like, oh, why isn't he on a private jet? I don't know. Maybe people don't like to waste their money flying private. Who knows? Plus, it's for his company. I'm sure they paid for his flight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, we remain in contact, texting back and forth. I don't know, once or twice a week, 3 times, whatever, trying to organize dinner or whatever. All good. Then out of the blue, one day he just messages me what he said, and I like bring it up real quick. Let me look at it here. Hold on a second.
I found this guy on LinkedIn already.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Did you really?
No.
No.
I don't think you can.
It was during the Final Four that you started to get. It was like during those games.
Yeah.
And that's when he hit you up?
So that's when he pretty much said like, hey, pretty much hope all is well. Blessings to you and the fam and whatnot. And just be careful. Watch out your credit cards. Watch out, your passports. Something is going to happen. That's very big. I've just been informed. I've just got an email. So I didn't reveal the other text messages, but basically I'm like, hey, can you like tell me exactly like, hey, what's going on? What's this about? He's
Because if I were you, I would almost prefer that he didn't send me that first text.
Exactly.
Unless he gives you some information.
Exactly. So I'll tie the story more back in. Then he sends me a message where it's like, hey, I know a lot, but I don't at the same time, if you know what I mean. Now, when I read that, it pretty much says that he knows everything. He's just not allowed to tell. We've talked more after that, and he's like, I'd much rather do this in person. So we're going to figure out a date and get some dinner, and hopefully I'll have more information.
Okay, so the upshot of what he sent to you was that there's something cyber-wise going on. I think that was your term, cyber-wise.
Yes, cyber. So something to do with cyber, something to do with the power grid. He was sending me a bunch of articles that already came out like, hey, our stuff hasn't been updated in this amount of time, and it's
power grid.
Yes, it's so easy to take control over, stuff like that.
Yeah, and there was a hack that was, I think Apple sent out a bunch of notices to people, right?
I think so.
Saying like, hey, people are trying to hack into people's phones depending on what industry they work in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like a lot of finance people.
Yeah, I mean Dave just got hacked.
Yeah.
I think that's public knowledge, right?
I think so. I think he talked about that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, how do you think he got hacked?
He got hacked through PayPal, he said.
Okay. But yeah, so when Dave got hacked, Jerry was like, see?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has just happened. Did anybody see the weather thing happen for like an hour or two?
The blip in the South Atlantic Ocean?
I didn't see that.
But no, Jerry's just talking. He pulled me aside the other day. He's like, you see that the weather app went down for a couple hours today?
Bro, did you see AT&T that one day went down? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I have Verizon, so I mean, good.
Yeah, I was good too. I had Verizon.
Have you guys seen Leave the World Behind? Because Jerry's kind of in the plot of the beginning of Leave the World Behind.
There was a guy that was on a plane with somebody?
Well, there was a guy who met a guy who said, hey, heads up, some shit might go down. And shit went down. The thing is, the United States' enemies cannot get into a hot war with us. We are unbeatable, no matter what Francis Ellis says. We literally have like the best weapons, the best military in human history, the best technology, the best advancements. The only way they can get us is by attacking us in like soft proxy wars, be it online, try to disable and weaken our infrastructure from within by basically doing petty attacks. Like, so it's one of the greatest threats to our nation through our infrastructure. So for example, something like collapsing a bridge by turning off a boat's power in the middle of the night isn't that far out for enemies trying to get retaliation for, some sort of perceived slight on their country. Hypothetically, if there was a false flag attack on Russia that Russia is trying to pin on the U.S. and Ukraine, they might respond by throwing a boat at one of our bridges to knock it down.
I feel like there'd be so much easier stuff to do than timing it so that when a boat is in the middle of the river, the current would take it perfectly into this one little pillar.
Yeah. Like, how bad would you think it would get and how quick if, like, we weren't able to use any cards or anything?
Any cards at all?
That's the next thing that's coming.
Yeah.
You can't bomb America.
No.
But you can fucking shut down
That's what I'm saying.
EMP.
You can make our lives really annoying.
Yes.
EMPs, everyone talks about EMPs. EMPs, like, just because everything turns off for a second does not mean everything is like not going to be able to turn back on forever. That's what people keep saying about EMPs.
Nobody said forever.
But if there's a big enough EMP, it could affect power for like more than a second, right?
Yeah.
Right. But let's say there's a solar flare,
let's say
right?
day. I think people would go crazy for days.
No,
yeah,
you think a solar flare.
I think it would be nice we've talked about this on the show, but to just not have internet for a day.
A day would be fine.
It'd be
I'm
good,
down
right?
I'm down with a day.
We just hang out.
Yeah. I'm down with a day. But think about what it affects everything.
Yeah, all your bank shit,
resources, everything, anything it affects.
Yeah. So the plot, I'm looking up the plot of Leave the World Behind because Jerry, I'm just a little concerned that maybe this guy was trying to do the plot of Leave the World Behind to you.
Okay.
And like tell you that this was happening.
But what does he benefit? See, I don't understand is what is he benefiting from this?
No, I'm not. I don't know.
He doesn't know me.
I'm just double checking and making sure that he's not doing the plot. So the person runs into somebody while they're shopping for groceries, and then all the TV and the Wi-Fi stops working, and then the next day there was a blackout. Everything's still down. Okay, I don't think he was.
So not the plot at all.
I don't think he was doing the plot too.
Okay, good.
No, the plot is that like this super well connected guy called me and told me that something's happening soon, and then that's what happened soon.
So Jerry, I need you to be on the lookout for like your Wi-Fi turning off and your TV going down.
Oh, that has happened. My Wi-Fi has been going off.
See,
okay.
You got Zentro?
What's that?
The shittiest Wi-Fi company in the
No,
country.
I got Xfinity.
All right.
I got an Eero system as well.
Have you seen a bunch of deer?
No.
You haven't seen any deer.
Mm-mm.
All right, that's the thing you got to be on the lookout for, because in this movie,
Animals and stuff.
yeah, she notices a large herd of deer that are standing motionless in the backyard.
Yeah, no, I
All
haven't
right,
seen that.
if you see deer start fucking around, that's
I don't know if there's
then
deer
you know
by
you're
me,
in it.
is there?
The deer, look,
yeah.
the deer-borne illnesses might be another attack on the United States infrastructure through Lyme's disease.
Okay.
Like, that is something, like, we don't know.
We don't.
With a deer overpopulation, if you infect a couple deer with Lyme's disease and, like, it affects people terribly and it's one of the worst diseases of all time, then sometimes there's some tick-borne diseases that make you lose your ability to eat red meat. Like, we can't count these things out.
Jerry, was there any time frame that the guy gave you?
No, not a time frame. He didn't mention any like, hey, this is gonna happen soon, this is gonna happen late. Pretty much something is going to happen.
Okay,
and my thing is it's probably gonna happen closer to the election.
Yeah, you've been in touch with him though, and you're gonna
still
plan a dinner.
Yeah, 100%.
Has he given you any more breadcrumbs or tidbits?
No, just like blessings to the family. Hope everything is well. Sent me a couple pictures, him and his kids on Easter and stuff like that.
Y'all really became friends quick.
Yeah, we're tight.
Yeah,
we're tight.
Have you seen him since that plane ride?
No,
or just text?
No, just text. No,
okay.
No FaceTime, just text.
Is he a sports fan?
Yeah, huge. Loves the Cubs.
Okay,
loves the Cubs.
Got it. I am pumped. It's draft day, and I truly believe for the first time in a very long time that things are about to turn over for me. I think that this is the draft that's going to do it, and I'm excited. I'm excited to no longer be a loser anymore.
You should start your day out after this podcast and watching one of the most beautifully cinematically captured films of all time.
The Longest Yard.
No. Draft Day.
Draft Day.
Draft Day with Kevin Costner, multi-decorated actor.
Diddy.
Chadwick. Diddy's in there?
Diddy's in there?
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
He's Chadwick Boseman's agent.
Damn, that's true.
Yeah,
I didn't even know.
Did you meet Diddy?
Never met Diddy.
He wasn't on set with you?
I've never been to Diddy's parties. I don't know Diddy. No, I was never that famous.
Yeah, we should actually. Can we redo a poster of Draft Day? Draft Day, starring Arian Foster and Diddy, as the two main names.
It's one of the wildest collections of actors. Like
it is wild. Me, Chadwick Boseman,
Jennifer Garner, Kevin Costner.
Who's
Diddy,
the dude? Who was
Terry Crews?
Terry Crews? Who's the dude? That was the Green Goblin in Spider-Man.
I don't know.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
He's in there.
It's not Willem Dafoe.
It's not.
I think it's Kevin Bacon.
No,
Dennis Leary.
No.
Dennis Leary. That's who it is. It's not
my bad.
Dennis.
I was like, Willem Dafoe is not in that movie.
He's not. Damn.
Thoughts and prayers to Dennis Leary.
What
if he's
happened to
listening to this.
We just like compared to Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
alike.
great actor.
They look alike.
Great actor. Seems like a very nice guy too.
They look alike. Give me a side by side, bro. Hold on.
Yeah,
they look
are
alike,
a little
bro.
bit.
He is a unique looking guy.
That's not a reach, bro. Hold on. William Dafoe.
Willem.
It's E.M.
Dafoe.
Oh, there are searches like, are they related?
Okay,
Here.
Willem Dafoe. Okay, so he wasn't. Okay.
Sam Elliott
Oh,
in
yeah.
that movie.
Yeah. It's a great cast.
They look a lot alike now that I'm like. But anyway, if you got some time, watch that beautiful masterpiece.
So good.
It's a great movie.
Tom Welling?
I get residual checks of about
Oh, yeah.
$40
That's pretty
every
good.
now and then. So go ahead and bump that up to 50.
Around this time is that usually when you get it?
Well, no, it comes. I don't know if I think it's quarterly. Maybe I'll get like.
Is this
SAG
one
residuals.
more?
Around draft time, it'll spike to like 100 maybe.
I will watch it tonight or
That's what I'm
tomorrow.
talking
I
about.
usually
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
Get in the mood for it.
We should have a watch party.
Yeah. Starring Diddy, Ray Lewis, Arian Foster.
The big three.
Yeah, big three. Motherfuck the big three.
It's just big meat.
Yeah.
I didn't have it in my head until after. I don't know if we can spoil the video or not. When we played golf yesterday, there were some really good holes and there were some really bad ones. It was after the really good ones that I thought the next time I hit an awesome shot, I was going to say, fuck the big three, it's just Big T.
Yeah.
Never hit another good one the rest of the day.
But you had that one on
Never
deck?
got, it was in the chamber for 14 holes.
That's hilarious, dog.
So the draft goes all the way back to 1935. That's when the NFL inaugurated the use of amateur drafts in sports.
Before we do that,
Yep.
what was Coley's no draft theory?
Yeah,
Because I remember thinking it was preposterous. Like, don't have a draft at all. And
Well,
let
then
the
it's
teams-
like, I mean, it is kind of socialist.
it is.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So I remember thinking when he first told me, just like, yeah, there should be no draft. And I was like, that's just crazy. And then I don't remember what it is now, but I remember him telling me, I was like, that actually is kind of fire. Do you remember what it is?
I don't remember the
Can we
exact.
call him real quick?
Yeah, we can give him a call. I don't remember the exact.
I think you
all
just
the
explained
details,
it. Like,
but-
just get rid of it.
No, but there's a reason as to why it makes sense. And I forget the reason as to why.
I think it's just that
because
it's communist.
I think it's because
Well, that's not why.
with the salary cap in place, teams would not be able to draft or pay. They wouldn't be able to pay highly touted rookies as much money, if they already had a good team, because they would have already been compensating those good players that they have. So the teams that were not as good would theoretically be able to go after and get the highly coveted rookies
Better
coming out.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
It should theoretically, there should still be a level of parity. So like soccer, it's what this would be, right? You just go wherever you want, but there's no salary cap in soccer. There's financial rules, but they're broken all the time. You could just pay guys as much as you want. When you have a salary cap, it should theoretically still disperse the talent. Like NIL has done in college football, they're still top guys are going to a lot of the same schools, but then a school like, Tennessee, who maybe wasn't as good recently, is now like, we'll pay you more than so-and-so's going to.
Mm-hmm.
And then guys are going to schools like that rather than all going to Alabama and Georgia and whatever. And that's even without a salary cap.
So you're saying, so the premise of it would be the diversity of talent would spread out because of.
It would probably not be as much as it does with the draft, but it shouldn't be drastic. Like in soccer, all the top guys go to 5 teams in the world. Whereas in this, like every team is on a pretty level financial playing field. So guys would be forced really to go to different teams.
Well, in every other line of business, when you graduate from college, you can choose where you want to work. Right? There's not one company that you get to go work for if you're really good at it. You can choose where you want to live in the United States, what city you want to be in, where you want to work. In the NFL, you can't do that, obviously. There's the draft where teams get to line up in order, and then theoretically the worst teams will be able to pick the best players at the start of it. And that is, like Big T said, a little bit socialist. Or it's maybe that's not the best example of socialism in the NFL, but the spreading of the wealth amongst the owners. The owners are socialist as fuck.
Yeah.
In the NFL, they've got the strongest union in the world going, as if you're one of the 32 owners. But there was a guy that actually sued the NFL, claiming that they should get rid of the draft. So this kind of speaks to like why the modern draft is the way it is. His name was James Smith in 1968.
Are you for the abolishing of the draft?
I don't know. I'm more of like a creature of habit, so I've learned about the draft. I know what the rules about the draft are, and it's just become part of my sports calendar.
Well,
in terms of fairness, it's definitely not fair. It's not fair for like the players that are coming out to have to.
Well, instead of the draft, just to massage your nostalgia, couldn't it just be a signing day vibe?
An auction?
Well, no, that's problematic. But
that would be very uncomfortable. But wait.
I was gonna say a signing day vibe where guys you can collect.
Yeah.
You can get Mel Kiper doing all the same shit he does, but guys take off shirts to reveal, or maybe that'd be dramatic, but you reveal where you want to go.
Yeah,
and where you want to go is gonna be dictated by where other guys go.
And all the offers are made public, so it'd be kind of like a reverse auction. Is that the best way to put it? Where like the team,
you're really hell bent on this auction.
No, I'm saying I would not like.
They've tried that.
The auction's not a good idea. Not a good idea, but I'm saying like it'd be cool if it was televised and you had every team, and there's already a rookie wage scale in place, right?
Yeah.
So you would get to determine how much of that wage scale you'd want to offer to Caleb Williams coming out. And then you'd have every team submit their offers to Caleb, and then Caleb would see what the offers are.
And he gets to pick.
Sometimes,
That's
like
lit.
he wouldn't necessarily pick the highest one.
He still gets the pick, right?
He might take less money.
I doubt that, but yeah.
For a better fit.
Because who was it? Eli, or I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Eli.
Yeah.
He had the same thing where he was like, I'm not going to San Diego.
Yep.
And somebody just said that. I saw a clip of it. Was it Dion? Was it Dion saying Shedeur was like, we're gonna do the Eli thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, he'll only let him go to 6 teams or something.
I love Dion. That's my guy, but he's not gonna have that option.
And the teams were just the ones he played for plus the Commanders.
Oh, the Commanders was on that list?
It was.
No, he played for us.
Oh, then it was.
Yeah, he did. He was number 30. He was number 37.
Yeah.
So it was Commanders, Falcons, Cowboys, 49ers.
Baltimore?
I don't remember
Because he
the
played
other
for
two.
Baltimore.
It could have been, yeah. But yeah, it was basically just the teams he played for, and then there was one more thrown in there.
I like that.
Now, why would you do that as Dion?
I think this might be Dion also exaggerating that a little bit,
right?
To project strength and to just put that out there that like we have this power, and just so you know that if you're going to be dealing with my son, you're going to have to treat him a little bit differently with more respect than some other players.
That's tough because I love Dion, and I think the only way that works is if the talent level exceeds or is on par with the leverage that you're playing with. And I think Shedeur is a good quarterback in college. I'm unsure about his talent at the next level. I think he could probably play, but I don't think he's nowhere near like the caliber player to be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
You're raising expectations for your kid too.
Yeah,
you put a lot of
let him do that if that's what he wants to do. But I'm not gonna do because you're Dion. Your voice travels.
Yeah, was he joking? Was he like on a podcast where he was?
That
like,
could be the case too. I just read it, so I could be.
If he does do a power play, like, hey, here's the 6 teams that are allowed to draft my son, it becomes like an official thing that they're standing by. Then you're right, like the spotlight that's going to be put on him and the expectation.
By the way, it was his kids and Travis Hunter, who is not his kid.
Yeah.
Oh, Travis Hunter. Well, I mean, his full father figure, like.
Yeah, I guess, but.
Which I think he might have some leverage like that.
Yeah, I think he might too.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal talent.
He's going to be a top 10 pick for sure. There are some drafts that have Shedeur going like number 1.
What draft is that?
Well, mocks.
Number 1 in the draft?
Correct.
Like for real?
Yes. Next year.
For next
year.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I need to watch him again. But from what I saw, I didn't see that.
All right, OJ, the trial of the century.
R.I.P. Juice.
Didn't do it.
Yeah, so Billy, we're gonna let you cook on this. And when we first got on the call, Arian had a preview of what he was about to do, because I think we've talked about OJ before, right? And we've talked about how he definitely did it. But I think Arian is thinking, his mind is open.
No, I still think he did that shit for sure. But
I don't think he did.
All I'm saying is because it's just been such like the lore of the case has been so big for so long that you kind of just don't really care about the evidence. The jokes come, everything involved with it. But when you actually look at the evidence, it's not as cut and dry as I thought it was going to be. But what's very clear is that the prosecution wholly fucked up. And the LAPD was negligent and absolutely planted evidence. So those two factors combined, I can see why a rational jury member could look at the evidence presented and be like, there is doubt. On top of the fact that DNA evidence during that time was fairly new to bring into court. So all those factors combined, it was kind of a perfect storm for him to walk. Because again, it's not necessarily, not guilty does not mean innocent. And so I still think he was involved. Still think he more than likely did that shit. It's just not as cut and dry as I thought it was going to be looking back into the case.
It's definitely a big fuck. There were a lot of fuck ups on the side of the prosecution in this. It was not handled well. And the jurors in this case, man, they spent 265 days sequestered.
I was going to bring that up. That should not be legal.
I agree.
That's crazy.
Because there was so much media.
Yeah, you get paid, but it's like nothing.
Don't you get paid by your employer? Or am I making that up?
You just can't get
get fired. I don't know if that's a good question. Are you getting, if you have a job and you go on a jury, are you getting like PTO or?
It might vary from state to state. I don't know how that works out.
I think you get your regular salary because I almost got on Harvey Weinstein's.
Okay, so this is in Illinois, so I think it must be state by state, but it says employers do not have to compensate an employee for his or her time spent on jury duty. So I think it's just up to the employer.
Also in Illinois, you get $50 a day.
$50. 50 whole bucks a day.
They may as well just tell you go fuck yourself. I'd rather just not get paid.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good. If you work hourly, I wonder if there's any job in America that would pay you your hourly rate.
I want to do jury duty. I don't want to do no fucking 265 day. Hell no. I want to
with
do
no
jury.
TV, like nothing.
It does say that many employers
give me
choose
like
to
2
pay
days.
them.
You know, give me like a nice easy court case. I would like to do that. I don't want to do like no week or no. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, honestly, I don't think there would be a lot of disqualifying reasons why the prosecution or the defense wouldn't want you on the jury, depending on the case.
Why is that?
They do it for everything. Like you're a public figure, you may be distracting in the courtroom. Like there's a whole host of reasons why you get taken off juries.
You might be right. Yeah.
I want to do jury duty.
Well, should we go over excuses how to get out of jury duty? Because
did you watch jury duty?
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah. So with this, we should get to that. Just some more background on this jury because it was 265 days. The reason why they were sequestered away from their entire lives, away from work, was because there was so much media about the trial. It was everywhere. It was in magazines. It was in TV. It was in movies that were coming out because it took so long from the time of the killing to the trial to actually getting started with the trial. So they had to take those 8 months in a hotel, and the hotel took out the TVs, so they couldn't watch TV. They removed all the newspaper service. The entertainment options that they had were sitcom reruns that they could watch, old magazines, and everybody had to have them pre-screened. So if you wanted to watch like an episode of Seinfeld, they had to watch it to make sure there wasn't a reference to like a murder or anything like that.
That should be against the Geneva Convention.
I agree. This is torture.
For 9 months?
Dude,
9 months.
Actually, if it happened right now, they would take your phone too.
I would walk in there the second they were like, we anticipate this trial could be a while, like 6, 7, 8, 9 months. I'd walk in and be like, I will not be impartial. I refuse to convict no matter what the evidence says. And walk out.
I am pro-black, and that man is innocent.
Exactly. I will not convict under any circumstances.
T.O. look, you say I'm pro-black as it gets, and that man did not do that.
You'd get me if they said 9 months. I'd say anything.
Big T would show up in a defund the police T-shirt.
Absolutely. I'd show up with my cafe on, ready to go home.
It was a long time for them to be sequestered for sure. And nowadays, I feel like it would just drive you crazy if you didn't have.
Sidebar: sequestered might be one of the funnest words to say.
It is sequestered.
Sequestered.
They were sequestered. And over the course of the trial, 10 out of the 27 people that were on the jury, there were 12 jurors and 15 alternates. That would be the worst, being an alternate on that jury, because you have to do all the same shit. You just don't get to vote at the end of it.
That's actually insane.
That is crazy. They had 10 people that were dismissed for various reasons. In the end, there were 10 women and 2 men that found OJ not guilty. 9 jurors were black, 2 were white, 1 was Hispanic. And at the closing statements, only 2 alternate jurors remained unseated. That left Judge Ito very close to having to declare a mistrial, which would have started everything over from the very start.
God, bro.
Yeah, so it almost didn't even get to that point. But Billy, if you're brought in, what would you recommend people say?
Well, if you're related to law enforcement and it's a criminal case or it's a non-civil case, they're always involved. So you can say that you're totally biased towards law enforcement. So like, I was like, my grandfather was a NYPD. So like any case in New York City, I'm biased.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a business owner, a parent, like all those things I think disqualify you. Like I remember when I was going to get my mom out of jury duty, like I'd get to skip school for a little and she'd just take me down with her, and that would always work because she's the main caregiver. And if you bring the kid, they can't really be like, you're not a mom who has to take care of a kid all the time. Anyone else have any good ideas? How have you guys gotten out of jury duty?
I've never been asked.
Never been selected. Yeah.
I'd have done it. I'd have done that shit, bro.
Dude, they caught me on my college spring break. And I was like, hey, I'm in college. Like, I can't serve jury duty, right? And they're like, no. We made sure it was on your spring break. And I was like, what? How did you know my spring break?
I saw a TikTok recently of a woman who got selected for jury duty, and it was like she just completely forgot about it, and they were on vacation at the time.
Oh, no.
And she called and was like, yeah, I was supposed to be there. I just totally forgot, and we're like out of the country. And we're like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I think you just don't have to go.
No,
that's not legal advice.
They can, but they have to spend a lot of resources, and it's a headache, especially if it's like small claims court or something not big. It's not very likely something's gonna happen.
You request a jury trial for skipping out on jury duty, and everybody on that jury would convict you. They're like,
honestly, could you have a jury?
I don't know.
Everyone is like biased towards as because they're on a jury.
Yeah, it's your constitutional right to have a jury amongst your peers.
No, but Billy's right. If you're on trial for skipping out on jury duty, there's no way that the people that are there on jury duty can judge you without bias.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I might have found a loophole.
That's like the zone of death, where everything's legal.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about with this.
That's a question you need, like AI might be able to answer, because Google can't.
Ask AI. Ask it.
Did you see the lawyer that was using AI that was like citing fake cases?
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, that's
so maybe don't ask AI legal questions.
AI is not ready for a court of law just yet. So I remember where I was when they announced the verdict. I was in PE class, and I thought OJ was innocent. I think I would have been, like 9 years old?
What were you doing in PE that day?
We were watching the OJ trial.
So they like wheeled a TV in?
They wheeled the TV in.
You weren't playing Capture the Flag or something?
No, we were probably playing like one of those games with the blue kind of knee board thing that you scoot around the gym on. Yeah,
those were
probably.
How old were you?
I think I was 9. Was it?
And they were letting you watch a murder trial?
Yeah, dude. Everybody in America.
I'm calling cap, dude.
No,
everyone in America watched.
It was a different time. It was the most polarizing.
Yeah,
maybe the MJ trial and this one I would probably give it to OJ, but it was like probably the most polarizing trial of all time.
Which MJ? Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson, yeah, innocent by the way.
Everybody in America was watching this. It was by far the biggest news story. I think the biggest news story of the 90s. It was probably bigger than Clinton getting impeached for getting ahead in the Oval Office, which tells you how big of a story it was. So yeah, we didn't watch the entire trial in school.
This is the verdict.
We watched the verdict in school, and a lot of other classrooms did that too. And I thought he was innocent, and when he was not guilty, I was very happy. And then I grew up a little bit. And because I was like, oh, funny guy from the movies, football player. He's innocent. He didn't do that. Not my OJ. And then you learned a little bit about the facts, and you're like, oh, yeah, he probably did that shit.
So this says 150 million people watched the verdict. The U.S. population at the time was 263 million. What were 100 million people doing who weren't watching it?
Working.
Imagine.
Probably people with jobs.
Big T, you'd be... I feel
it was
like
during the day.
This is a saying you would say, like, why weren't they working?
No, that usually correct, but like this was a generational thing. Like nobody was working during the OJ verdict.
Well,
like nobody was like, I really need that report today, Simon.
Well, someone was broadcasting the TV station that was being run by electricity that the electrical lines guys are working. There's definitely people working. Like the cops chasing him, they were working.
Yeah, I just can't imagine being,
actually,
an adult at the time. And being like,
they weren't. Wrong TV. Wrong
I
TV
didn't watch
set.
the verdict. Like, imagine what a square you'd be at work the next day. You're like, didn't catch it.
Yeah, but imagine how thrilling it would be to tell people, to break the news to people.
Right, but you had to be watching.
Like right after it was over, you watched it, you get to go into the next room, find somebody that hasn't seen it yet.
That would be incredible.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
I love breaking news.
We got to break the news to Hank that OJ died.
Saw that
the other day. Mackenzie did a great lip sync.
I saw that. Hey, Mac, I saw that shit. That shit was funny, bro. You need to do one of them shits for our shits.
I've been saying that for a year, Arian.
I haven't done one in so long, and like someone like tweeted at me like, "Oh, you should do that." I was like, "Yeah, I should do that."
Is that how you got hired?
Sort of. It was like helpful. I had an interview like before COVID, and then like just to be a regular like video editor, and then I started making those, and then like that's what kind of like helped revisit like the next interview during COVID, because I wasn't like going in for another interview.
Yeah, breaking that news. It was very funny.
Thank you.
Getting to see Hank's reaction to it was so good.
Which one would if Mackenzie were to do a macro moment of a lip sync video, I don't even know which one she would do.
Yeah, send me if people have suggestions. Send them to me, because I'll do whatever.
There's a couple that are coming to mind right now.
Real quick,
the ball poison ivy one's a pretty good one.
If you skip jury duty and are subsequently summoned to court, it's like being in contempt of court, so you don't get a trial, and you can't call a jury.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like a penalty and fine.
It wasn't on the show, but I wish you could lip sync the other day when Madeline said my government name and Arian didn't know who she was talking about.
Oh my God, that was at the he was like telling some story, and Big T was like something. I was like, Connor. He was referring to himself. Like,
no, Madeline said it.
Yeah, I said.
Oh, it was okay. You did. She's like, "Oh, Connor." And I was like, "Who's that?" Because I was like, I'm trying to learn everybody's name at Barstool, and he was like, "That's me." I was like,
that happened a couple years ago.
I know,
but I figured he knew by now.
Well, it's like I never even think to call you Connor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't. When I look at you, you don't look like a Connor. You look like a Big T to me. And you're sitting behind a Big T, and you're always wearing a T. The branding is immaculate, and I just can't. My brain is
very brand loyal over here.
Could Tennessee sue you?
Hey,
no, I can't imagine so.
If his name was Power T, maybe, right? Because that's what they call the logo.
Right, but that's not like my.
Have to, like,
that's
sell
just what
merch
people
or
call
something.
me. Yeah,
like you're using their likeness a lot. I want you to protect yourself.
Well, I'm
in a lot of
using
legal
it
trouble right
as
now,
as a registered trademark. Anytime I wear it, it's.
That would open up Pandora's box where they're like, we can't sell any of our merchandise to anybody that might wear it on camera at some point.
Right.
And then why would they do that? Big T actually could sue Tennessee.
They should pay me.
They should pay you. You're a walking advertisement. All right, so speaking of diss tracks, we did talk about this on Thursday. Big T has decided to weigh in. Big T is involving himself with battle rap now. And you going after Biden?
Well, this is bullshit because you said you should write a Biden diss track. And I was like, well, I don't want to rap it on the show. And then I was like, well, I'll write it if Arian will perform it. And y'all said, okay. So I spent real time writing a Biden diss track being like, okay, Arian's going to rap this. And then we get in here today and Arian's like, I'm not going to do it. So I am stepping up and doing something that I did not want to do for the people, and I will rap my own rap because Arian refused to do it.
I don't remember. I'll be honest, man. I do not remember agreeing to rapping your rap. I could be wrong.
I don't know if you explicitly did. PFT did. He may have spoken for you.
That could be the case. I don't remember that. I'm perfectly fine being wrong, but I don't remember agreeing to read your rap on camera. I don't remember that.
I don't recall exactly how it went down, but that was my understanding of the situation.
I think it was like Arian.
So now I'm going to have to write a diss about Arian.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
I like that. But I think the way it went down was Arian was like, yeah, I don't like that guy either. But then Big T he sent Arian the lyrics, and they get pretty personal.
There's a couple I like.
I'm gonna say, well, I'll let you get to it, and then I'll give my response to it. I'll let you do it first.
What were you gonna say?
No, nothing. I want to hear the context of it, and then I'll go from there. So let's hear it. So, for the first time, world premiere, Big T diss track of Joe Biden. Does it have a name?
It's untitled. I didn't know it. I didn't think about it needing a name until the last 2 minutes, and I was trying to think of one, but I don't want to rush it.
What about Malarkey?
Dog-faced pony soldier.
Yeah.
We'll think of one by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
All right. I guess. Yeah. I wasn't planning on rapping today, but I wrote it. I guess I'll rap it.
I commend you, man.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Said it.
Beat by Arian Foster.
How the fuck has it only been 3 years, but somehow enough time to have the country in tears? You've heard how much everyone hates you even though you can't hear. I asked your granddaughter, she said you're creepy and weird. You think the White House supposed to be your nursing home? You remember baseball before Jackie, please just leave us alone. I bet you liked it a little better back then too, when poor kids and white kids went to separate schools.
Let's quote.
Second husband to a community college teacher. Maybe she can give you an associate's in being a leader, but who knows how long it would take you to pass one class. Ask Nelia for some quick help, she can give you a crash. You could barely play the president in a TV show. You're a cancer to this country, must have caught it from Bo.
Ooh. I ain't gonna lie, man. The last couple bars, especially the crash bar.
Ooh.
See, I fucked up the timing a little bit there, but
Biden has 24 hours to respond.
Facts. Facts. On the clock. You're on the clock, Joe.
No more, no less.
It got a little personal there with the family dying stuff.
Don't die, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, this is battle rap. This is battle rap, right?
You can get it. It is what it is.
And when PFT said that's a quote, that was a Biden quote. Just so people know.
White kids and poor kids.
Correct.
Yeah.
He said,
the implication being
he said poor kids can be just as bright as white kids.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't gonna get no Joe Biden defense out of me, brother.
That was Big T. That was good. Big T is sneaky a good musician. Like
Nah,
he's
it's
got.
not even,
I am not.
It's not sneaky. I think it's pretty.
He's like a performer.
He can hold a note. He can stay on beat for the most part. And I think he can project very well. So I think, and he can sing. And he
Yeah,
can
that's the
whistle.
thing.
I don't know.
Big T's got a voice on him.
You can hold a note, bro. I'm telling you.
He does. And also the thing about Big T, when he's jamming along to stuff, Big T's always on the threes. He's not on the ones. Sometimes the twos and the fours. You know?
I know what that means, but Madeline wants you to explain it.
Yeah.
So like on that beat when it started, play the beat again real quick.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I feel like if you can't do that.
No, like a lot of people, it's not natural to them. So it starts out. Big T goes, like that. That's on the twos and the fours. So you can go, or you can go, What you don't do is go,
Well, the was placed completely randomly. So if that
no, but
was
that you thought it was placed completely randomly, but it was at the right time. That's what I'm saying. You've got an understanding of music in you. It's just somewhere. It's natural. Big T's a good musician. He'll tell you that he's not, but he's got.
I play 0 instruments. I don't sing. I don't know if that's a good musician. We need to raise the bar.
You know what would be good? So I think we tried to do this like 5 years ago. I was making like a trap remix of Rocky Top.
I remember that.
You could do a diss track every week for whoever Tennessee's playing in football.
That's too much. That's too much rapping. But by the way, that song's called "Fuck Your Dead Wife and Son."
Oh Jesus!
So
damn,
insert that into the when we're talking about the title.
Wasn't his son? Wasn't he a troop?
Everybody's a troop these days.
Oh, by the way, follow up on cricket. Chrissy Noem's dog and her book tour. So the dog thing has taken on kind of a mind of its own. Now she's saying, I actually don't think this is a bad angle for her to be playing up. Like, at least I had the courage to put my dog down, unlike Joe Biden, whose dog has been attacking everybody in the White House. Interesting strategy from her. But then the claim that she met with Kim Jong-un when she was in Congress has received further scrutiny to the point where now she's taking that out of her book. And she's like, yeah, there's some things that we're changing in the book.
She just lied about meeting Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, she's lied about. She's blaming it on the ghostwriter. But then she also did the audio narration for her own book, so she read it. So that's interesting. I think she's off the list now. But Big T, if the mood strikes you, I'd like to see you put out some diss tracks. You can even wait to do it after you guys win.
Yeah, but then that's a bitch move too. You have to either do it before or not at all.
Okay, so let's do it before. Do it before some games that you know you're going to win. Do it before Vandy.
But that's stupid too. See, this is what y'all pulled. This is what y'all pulled before the Alabama game in 2022.
No, it was the Florida game. I know what you're talking about.
No. It was Alabama. Florida in 22. I was like, we're gonna win. And then before the Alabama game,
no. I was like, man, that's a dub. And you were like, don't do that, Arian.
Well, okay, I probably did say that just because Florida things always tend to go oddly, which they did in that game. But before 22, the Bama game, y'all were like, what do you think? And I was like, I don't know. We'll see. And y'all were like, oh, you don't believe in them, whatever. If you say, yeah, we're going to kick the shit out of them and you lose, then people are like, haha. If you say, I don't know, man, they're really good, like we might lose, then people are like, oh, you don't believe. They'll play. You'll find out. I don't engage in speculation.
Good on you, mate. Good on you.
I deal in facts. But like math exists in nature. Like there are, like you were talking about the Fibonacci sequence and stuff like that. Like stuff like that exists whether we discovered it or not.
Yeah, I would agree. I would probably caveat it with math is our best instrument to understand the universe, but I think it has its limits. Like it's not perfect, but there are aspects of it that are like 1 + 1 is 2. One thing plus one thing will always be 2. Like that's going to be hard to parse any other way.
Not if you're Terry, though.
I've reached out to Quiggs. He's a rocket scientist. I'm asking him if 1 × 1 = 1 or if 1 × 1 = 2. So we're gonna get an answer on this. Get to the bottom of it. It's like that bodybuilding forum where they spent like 5 days arguing how many days there were in a week.
All-time internet thread.
Yeah. Well, I don't. What is that? I didn't hear about this. What is this?
Somebody was talking about their lifting schedule and how many sets of different muscle exercises you should do in a week. Where it's like, okay, you need 1 day of doing bench press here, working on chest and tris, and then a day of recovery, and then you can do legs. And then it was like, how many times can you then do chest muscles in a week? And somebody was counting like a week as being 8 days. And then they argued about whether or not there were 8 days in a week or 7 days in a week.
I mean, what's the argument? I mean,
well, let's bring the thread up. Big T.
I have it. It's long, so I'm trying to. The original post is it safe to do a full body workout every other day? I only have limited days I can get to the gym, and lately, instead of doing upper body or lower body, I just do full body strength workouts. And then it's people responding. I'm trying to find where it originally goes to. Okay, if I go every other day, I will be at the gym 4 to 5 times a week. Is that overtraining? Somebody says that makes no sense. There's 7 days in a week. If you go every other day, that's 3.5 times a week. Then this guy responds, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. That is 4 days. How do you go 3.5 times? Do a half workout or something? Then guy goes 7 times in 2 weeks equals 3.5 times a week. Genius. And yeah, 3 times a week, full body workouts are good. Then here's where, so this guy says, I never said anything about going exactly 7 times. If I go every other day, that is 4 days a week. How hard is that to comprehend? Week 1, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Week 2, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. 8 days in 2 weeks. In your terms, 8 times in 2 weeks equals 4 times a week. Genius. All muscle and no brains. LOL. You double counted Sunday. That's 2 weeks plus a day. Did you fail grade 2 math? Plus your old post said 4 or 5 times a week. Now you just neglect the 5. Grow up and admit when you're wrong.
Did you say grow up or bro up?
Grow up and admit when you're wrong.
Should have said bro up.
Bro, hit right there.
The next one, I think this word's back. Are you retarded? Maybe you should look at a calendar. I didn't double count Sunday. My 2 weeks started and ended on Sunday, exactly 14 days. What don't you understand? Edit, here's a calendar. I made little dots for each day so you can comprehend. Dude, that is 15 days. Are you that effing mental? You can't have a week go Sunday to Saturday, then Sunday to Sunday. Look at the damn pic you posted. Count the days. It's 14 days. Try again. Maybe you should try counting on your fingers. Count the fucking days, he says. How many days are in 2 weeks, you moron? 14. And it just goes on and on and on and on.
It goes on for days.
Oh,
this
crazy.
argument goes on for days. And I actually think the guy that counted like 15 days and 2 weeks, that guy won the argument. Because he
got the guy to keep going.
He got a guy to argue with him for like a week about how many days there are in a week. At that point, you've won the argument.
This guy, a week is Sunday to Sunday. I think you just don't know how to count. It's all right. I won't tell anyone. Sunday to Saturday is 6 days. Do you have 6 day weeks where you live?
What an all-time interaction, dog.
And then the guy's still getting mad in all caps. A week is not Sunday to Sunday. It's Sunday to Saturday.
Yeah, this guy's losing.
Yeah. Arizona public schools equals fail.
I think what Terrence is getting at here, and Terryism, maybe I'm way off. Again, not a math guy. I think I took one math class in college. My one math class was asking the same question over and over and over again. I'll explain that in a second. But in this guy's mind, I think the disagreement is Terrence Howard is saying that you start from one. And in reality, I think the question is, if you have no bowls of soup, if you start from zero, there are no bowls of soup, and then you have one bowl of soup one time, then you have one bowl of soup. In Terrence's mind, I think he's saying the bowl of soup already exists as a construct. So if you're already starting from a value of one, and then you have one, you put another bowl of soup, and then you have that one time there are actually two bowls of soup.
You understand what we're doing right now is the guy saying Sunday to Saturday is 7 days.
Yeah, it's Terrence Howard is the bodybuilding form guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. But it was the clips that I've seen from it, he seems like a highly intelligent person. But I think he's so far into his own, he's sniffing his own farts, and he's an expert on how his farts smell. Like, he invented a genre of math and science, and then he can't be wrong inside of his own genre. And he's done the work to build out like an entire universe, a cinematic universe of Terrence Howard's numbers. And so he has an explanation for everything, even though it's not commonly accepted in by normal, regular mathematics.
I'm just going to keep reading this bodybuilding for him for the rest of the time, y'all just keep going. The
boys and girls are fresh off their trip to San Diego from late last week. You guys have a good time?
No.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Yes, you did, bro. Cut the games.
Thursday, good time. Friday, in the running for the worst day of my life. And then I came home, so that was really it.
He just experienced what everybody experiences when they have a good time.
Nah, you drugged me.
Facts.
Oh no, Arian Cosby?
That's what they're saying.
What happened?
The Diddy connection makes sense.
What was the worst day for you? Would you say last Friday or January 20th, 2021?
Friday.
Friday was worse.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So we went to the Padres game where Arian threw out the first pitch,
How'd that
which
go?
he bounced. And we were sitting, I will say, Arian gave me an incredible gift to the Padres as well, which was our seats were literally the first row next to the on-deck circle. Like, Arian was talking to Fernando Tatis. Like, they were unbelievable. And so you get unlimited food and alcohol and all that. You have a server. So every time, I ordered a vodka lemonade at the start of the game. Mm-hmm. And by the time I had finished it, Arian had brought two more. And that just continued for 9 innings, plus the extra hour after the game that the bar in the club was open.
It sounds like Arian was a great friend.
That's what it sounds like to
So
me.
this was 4 hours of not stopping drinking vodka lemonades
while watching professional baseball from the front row.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
With all the chicken wings and
yeah, we were eating a ton too.
Pretzels.
So good pretzels at Petco Park, by the way.
Yep.
So you know, and then we went to a country line dancing bar after that, which I had never seen before.
Why did y'all take me there? Whose idea was that?
Oh, we did not take you there. We just followed.
I don't know who
was that.
It was one of those things where it was like kind of the only bar open at the time that we were out.
Not a lot of people staying out late in San Diego.
Really?
It was a Thursday night, so I guess, you know, maybe Friday and Saturday it's more, but yeah, not a ton.
I did see a great video from Big T from that bar doing the line dance solo.
It was not. I wasn't lying. I didn't know how they knew what to do. I was just vibing solo.
Wait, you were just freestyling that dance?
I don't know what dance it was, but whatever it was, yeah, I was just freestyling.
That was just a pure Big T dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we please put that video in right now?
I'd rather we
so that
didn't.
people can. No, you were doing good. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was impressed. I thought it was something that you rehearsed before a wedding or.
No, that was just. I didn't understand how everybody there knew what to do for each song, and we talked to somebody who said like, you just go there all the time and like each dance has a name and you just kind of learn them and then you go back.
I'm usually hip on like dance, even like line dancing. I know how to 2-step, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how good I was doing because I was a little faded, but I know how to 2-step. I know how to do a lot of the dances and stuff. But even if you don't, you can pick it up by the time the end of the song is because it's always usually pretty simple. They were doing something in that motherfucker that was so complicated that I was like, there's no way everybody just knows how to do this. And what she said was afterwards, we talked to her, they were saying like, there was like, they made up, it's made up. It's like a local made up thing at that bar that she said it took her like a year to learn. Because it was very intricate. I was like, there's no way these motherfuckers just joining in on this.
And they just kept playing song after song after song where everybody knew the dance. It was pretty interesting. But so then we went there.
But wait, I want to focus on this line dance that you did, Big T.
It wasn't whatever I did was not a line dance. It was just me dancing.
I think you might have invented a dance.
Maybe I don't remember exactly what it was.
Like we're due for a new dance, and I think you just did it.
We're due for a new dance.
I do. All I remember is like spinning around at one point, and then I hit the floor, and I was like, "Holy shit, that was a poor choice."
I have that video. I do have that video.
There's a lot of cowboy arms. Like
Can you please share the video with me, Arian, of Big T falling?
I got you. I'm gonna send it to you. My son has my phone. He's ordering food right now.
I'll keep it offline. No, but I'm serious. Like I think you just did. Like that's big. It's the Big T.
Maybe
the double hand that you were doing with the drinks.
I recall that. Yeah.
That was a good move.
Yep. I forget what song it was, but it was something about drinking, which was apt. So I got home at like 2:30 in the morning, went to sleep, and I woke up the next day and got out of bed and still stumbled. Like I was still a little buzzed.
Mm-hmm.
And then like an hour later, it just all hit me at once, and it was a bad time. It was a bad time. This was at about 10:30 a.m., and I had to check out of the hotel at, I think maybe even 10. Because they came and knocked on my door. I was like, y'all got to leave. I'll be back whenever. So that was a bad time. And then...
is it sad that Big T's saying this? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this is a pretty standard weekend night. If I'm out on a
all right,
trip somewhere.
I have a picture that I'll send you.
And then you wake up and then you start to feel worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me send this to you. I didn't show.
I don't want it.
Arian's the only person I showed this to.
What if Big T just became like a party guy podcaster? Plan T.
let me tell you, I unequivocally, I will never drink alcohol ever again.
I'm gonna get you all the Plan Brie merch, just the hungover hoodies.
Sleep when you're dead.
Yeah.
He was explaining his experience, and I was just like. You just experience what everybody in America goes through when they have fun. Like
I just sent you a picture.
That is it. You did it.
All right, what is this picture going to be of?
I can't tell you.
Nasty.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Okay.
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
Oh, you puked in your tub.
Well, so I was...
That's a lot of chicken wings.
Yeah, dude, it was chunks.
Yeah.
But I came back like.
Wait, is that a bone? Is that a full bone?
No.
So I had a bratwurst and I had a few of the corn dogs, and then I think I had some fries.
We had everything.
And I was eating all that, and then I went down because all my homeboys from high school, they was all in downstairs at the bar thing, and then I came back and Big T was eating, but I came back, he was eating more, and I was like, why are you eating so much? He's like, it's free. He said, you gotta
yeah, I
do
mean,
this.
we weren't going to
Take
waste.
advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
The experience.
It was a lot of poor decisions stacked on top of one another, but I was a victim. I was drugged. So Friday wasn't that fun, but I made it through.
Yeah, you did. Now we got to get you back on that horse.
I will never, ever drink again.
Well, here's the thing, Big T.
I'll take that bet.
Here's how a hangover gets better. You can go to CVS. You can get a body armor. You can have aspirin, Tylenol. Actually, never do Tylenol, because Tylenol, it hits your liver, so that's bad for hangover. You just gotta have another drink. If you had
Everybody kept saying that, and
Hair of the dog.
the thought of consuming, I didn't eat all day Friday. The thought of consuming anything was horrifying.
it's the hair of the dog.
Let alone alcohol.
You say that. Everybody says that. Oh, that's the last thing I want is a drink. No, it's the best. You get like 3-4 good sips down, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm back.
That's called alcoholism.
No, it's just called tapering off.
No.
You got to taper
There
off.
was no chance I could have consumed alcohol on
Because
Friday.
here's the thing with alcohol, you get dependent to alcohol. Your body can get dependent on it, which is why it's very dangerous if you just quit drinking cold turkey. If you are like a full-fledged alcoholic.
Can't you die from that?
Yeah. If you're a bad alcoholic and you just stop drinking entirely, you can die from it, from withdrawals. But to like a lesser extent, a hangover is just alcohol withdrawal. It's also usually like dehydration. But it's your body being like, oh, there's no more alcohol. What do I do now? You just have a little sip. They call it the hair of the dog. Have a little sip. Maybe have 1 or 2 drinks. You feel way better. And then you can kind of chill out.
It was a bad time to try to chill out Friday.
It was bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had fun, though. I'm glad Thursday was fun. And again, the line dance is incredible. I want to learn it. I want to learn that thing. Arian, you had a good time. You were getting warmed up like an hour before your first pitch.
They don't really warm you up like that. First off, I see you trying to butter this turkey before you put it in the oven. But let me stop you right there.
You threw probably 15 pitches.
Yeah, okay. You throw pitches to people in an outfield that is an approximation of how far you're going to throw. And throwing on a mound is entirely different. And on top of that, I was a little drunk. And it's okay. I'm not a baseball player. If you give me if I throw that pitch 9 times out of 10, I'm going to throw a good pitch.
Okay.
I promise you I would.
Then why didn't you?
I literally did. You saw me warming up, and I was throwing good balls. I said 9 times out of 10.
And then you got out there and spiked it 40 feet from the plate.
It was not 40 feet from the plate. Stop it, bro.
No, it's probably 40 feet from the mound. It's
like
probably
5 feet from the plate,
from
bro.
the
I was like right by the plate. It just hit the ground first. It is what it is.
Arian, just like the rest of America, caught cricket fever last week. So
Nah, I don't. Cricket fever. It is what it is. It wasn't because people were like, oh, it's the pressure. It's like I played in front of people. All that. None of that mattered. What mattered was the reason why I threw it like that was because you could either do one or two things. I could have lobbed it in there for a nice little thing and everybody been cool and been happy. But I went for it. I went for that 75-mile-an-hour fastball. And when you go for that, given all those circumstances, that was an option or a possibility that could happen, and it happened. It is what it is.
I actually really wish we would have asked if they could have had a radar gun on it to see how hard you threw it.
I threw it pretty hard. It just wasn't that good.
Yeah, it looked like it had some velocity on it. But if you've never thrown off a mound before, it's way different.
It was literally my first time throwing off a mound too. And also I thought the mound was an actual mess. It's like dirt, and then it's just like a piece of stuff built into the dirt, but it's not raised. I thought it was like raised. It's not raised.
Wait, what do you mean?
The mound isn't raised.
Rubber?
It was like a flat piece of rubber like that didn't have any kind of different.
Well, it's dug into the ground.
But it didn't have any different elevation than the ground.
Well, so over the course of the game, the pitchers will like dig their cleats into the dirt and it'll create like a little hole there. So it does. But at the start of the game, it's like flat.
Oh, well, I didn't know any of that.
But that would have been probably harder for you if there was like a hole there.
Nah, you get more leverage to push off of. That's probably why they do it.
Were you concerned at all with airmailing it?
No, I was literally just trying to throw it as hard as I could, and it's just a bad throw. I just no excuses. It was a bad throw, horrible throw.
It could have been worse.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, it wasn't like 50s. You know what I mean? I had an idea of where it was going. I held on to it too long. That's what it was.
If it was going to be bad, I wanted it to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
It was not.
Everybody was saying
it was not bad enough for me to like truly clown it.
Yeah, it kind of sucked. Like not the throw sucked. It did, but that's not what I meant. It was like it wasn't bad enough to be funny,
And it wasn't good enough to be
but
like,
it wasn't
wow.
good.
Yeah, it was still funny.
You reacting to it was funny because you were just so sure of the fact that you were going to throw like a 70-mile two-seam fastball.
Yeah, man. Life gives you turns. You just gotta roll with it, man. It's all good.
You just have to make lemons out of lemonade and then put vodka in them and give them to the team.
Maybe if there's another major league team that would like to give Arian a redemption,
Yeah.
a web redemption.
I will get my
Another
get back.
hometown.
Yeah, a different hometown.
I will get my get back. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, Houston Astros. If you're listening,
Yes.
let's get Arian out there. We'll have Big T sitting in first row with a trash can. Here comes some junk. No, they're definitely not going to do it.
We'll find. There's 28 more teams.
There's 28 more teams. Yeah. So everyone else, well, Big T, you did not have a good time.
Thursday was a good time. Friday was bad time.
Ladies, did you guys have a good time?
Very good time. It was very fun.
Okay. Anything else from the weekend, the excursion to San Diego we want to get into? Nothing?
No. Behind the scenes coming out.
It'll be in the vlog. But
Big T, you're finally recovered?
Yeah, I'm good.
How long did it take?
Well, so that Friday was really bad. Then I flew back at 10:30 p.m. Pacific on Friday. So I landed here at 4:30 in the morning. So I got home at 5:30, and then UT was playing baseball at 10 a.m. So I slept from 5:30 to 10, and then got up, still did not feel good. And then I went to bed Saturday at like 9 o'clock. And then after that, I was good to go.
What did you do all day?
What do you mean?
On Friday?
we hung out.
Yeah, we kind of just hung around. We ended up, I walked to so I had to check out of my hotel room, so I didn't have a hotel room. I walked to the bar down the street to watch the UT baseball game. There were 4 more people in the bar, all wearing Tennessee stuff. They were on a trip to San Diego, so we watched the UT game, and then we just kind of hung around. Oh, and then we went to Coronado and went to the beach.
Did they get your bed situation straighted out?
Yeah.
I fixed that. I fixed that real quick.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We literally had to go like reconnect with nature. We had to go to the beach.
Yeah. There was a wedding going on at the hotel next to the beach. We kind of watched the wedding.
Yeah. We had to go find God.
We filmed something in the morning at like noon, but it was funny because we were all very like unwell, and Arian was like, when do you guys feel like you're going to be good to go? This was on Friday, and Big T said, well, feel like would probably be Monday, but I believe we're supposed to leave in 20 minutes. So, but we made it.
And I was right.
We made it.
I could have gone to do that right now.
Well, that's okay. Like, this is an uncomfortable conversation, but it's like true. Like, the frowning upon pedophilia is kind of a new thing in human society. Relatively, like looking at our history, it's kind of new.
People didn't bat an eye at it.
Yeah,
rightfully a thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Rightfully a thing. I should have led with that shit. Fuck that shit. But like, we're just looking at our human history. It's kind of a new thing. And that's why.
I mean,
I guess that's why. Yeah. Go ahead.
But it almost seems like human nature to not want to fuck a child. It almost seems instinctual. So I don't know how it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely big in Greek times, and then in Roman times too. I think it like was, it
T, you've been awfully mum. Hop in, brother.
No thanks.
So I guess in Sparta, at Spartan weddings, the bride had her hair cropped short and was dressed as a man. It was suggested that they did this to make the husband's transition from homosexual to heterosexual relations easier. So they would have his wife just dressed like a man at the wedding. So like,
so he would be attracted to her.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
the fiercest warriors of the times were just groups of gay men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a pride parade rolling into Athens, just destroying them.
There was this like elite fighting group known as the Sacred Bond of Thebes. It was a troop of select soldiers, and it was comprised of 150 pairs of male lovers, because they thought if you fought with your male lover, you would fight harder to protect them. So it was, just 150 gay couples going out on the battlefield and just
That's
running
such a
shit.
cope. That's such an excuse. Just like, nah, babe, it's just so I fight better. No. But like even the male gods fucked each other.
I'm sure that would happen.
Yeah, no, we gonna get into that.
Yeah.
There was
Sexuality's
like
fluid.
in the Shakespearean times, like when they had like a play like Othello or Macbeth or something like that, there were never any women allowed to act. They would put in like little like young boys as the women, and so it was very prevalent. Like this shit was.
Also, I mean, Mick Jagger, I guess, had a lot of like he would sleep with men as well.
Him and Bowie.
Yeah, and it wasn't a huge thing. Whereas like in this day and age, if it came out that like Bieber sleeps with men as well, that would be huge.
Yeah.
That would be like a big deal. Back then, I think it was
he
just
does.
because. Well, I don't know. He's a married religious man.
Soon to be
Justin
father.
Bieber.
Yeah.
But I think if you're a big enough rock star and like you've had every woman, I think it's just you're like, all right, let's try this.
And this was also before the age of social media and everything like that. So it's like,
did Bowie and Mick Jagger have sex with each other?
I feel like
I
I've
think
heard
that
that
was a thing.
Yeah, they've fooled around a little bit.
No, I saw a video, bro. So I know I ain't crazy. I saw a video of Justin Bieber kissing what's his name? Will Smith's son.
Oh,
Jaden Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say P. Diddy, because
yeah.
there was like a rumor that
Yeah.
P. Diddy like tried to take advantage of Bieber in a sexual way.
Arian would know that if it happened. He worked with him closely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With P. Diddy?
They were coworkers. Draft day.
Did P. Diddy try to sign you ever?
Co-stars.
No, did he what?
Did he ever try to sign you?
No, I never. I've had
Maybe
zero
try to
interactions
make him
with
sign
P.
something
Diddy.
else.
Okay.
Nah, I've had zero interactions with P. Diddy, dog. Rightfully so. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, I found a video. Here it is. This ain't like no deep fake or anything. Peep this.
They are really good friends.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, they have a song together from The Karate Kid.
Got more than that together, brother. Look at that.
No, they're just like two masculine Spartan warriors.
They're just broing out.
Yeah, they're just bros.
I don't know about that one, man.
I mean, they kiss on the cheek.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a neck.
I have
Raise.
never, and I maybe I'm just further on the other side of the spectrum of the sexuality spectrum, but I've just never went behind my homie and shit, high school.
I've never
rock.
touched a homie's waist.
I've had to kiss you on the lips, Nick.
Yeah, but it didn't
For
touch
a
my
video.
waist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, waist
I did
is
not.
more intimate.
Yeah. Oh,
And
way
we
more.
were acting, first of all.
Yes, we were.
We kissed at the spot of where Michelle and Barack had their first kiss.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, it
Where
was
did
at a
they have
rock
their
in
first-
front of a Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, in front of a Baskin Robbins, on the south side of Chicago.
Hyde
Park.
Speaking of first kiss, I recently found randomly. You know how like Instagram will like give you like suggestions who to follow.
Yeah,
I guess because a lot of people I grew up with, they suggested me this profile, and I looked at the profile. It was my first kiss.
Oh.
How's she doing?
Did you friend her?
I think she's actually a Trump supporter, but
Whoa.
other than that, I
So
think
she's
fine.
doing amazing.
If you want to score it like that, you can score it like that. But I requested and she accepted it, and so I started scrolling through, and I thought I saw some MAGA shit. But
Did you feel like an attachment or anything?
no, I mean she's still relatively attractive. I think when I was a kid, she was one of the more popular kids in school. So what I'm saying, that was
huge for
I
you.
would not
Yeah,
have
it's
asked
big,
this
big.
had you not mentioned that she's a Trump supporter, but can I ask what race?
she's Mexican.
Interesting.
Yeah, Mexican. Yeah, now that's not interesting. There's a bunch of Trump
Yeah.
Mexican supporters for some
A lot.
reason.
Well, no, yeah, I just meant interesting that was Arian's first kiss.
He grew up in Albuquerque. There's a lot of Mexicans.
I grew up in a barrio, Holmes, originally.
Facts.
What's a barrio?
It's like a Mexican hood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone had to ask it. I knew.
I think it means neighborhood in Spanish.
Do y'all remember y'all's first kiss?
A barrio.
Yeah.
So I'll describe my first kiss. I would like to hear everybody's first kiss. My first kiss was dope because I kissed 2 girls in one day.
What?
Wow.
It was a dare. It was a dare. So a bunch of the homies was like, because I was like the last one. It was pure peer pressure. I was the last one out of the crew that hasn't kissed a girl yet. And so they was like, you won't. I was like, I'll do it. And it was like, you won't do 2? I was like, I'll do 2. I don't care. And so there was 2 girls, Shorty I just mentioned, and this other girl who I really liked for real. And I gamed my way. I did one at the beginning of lunch and one at the end of lunch. It was really cool.
Shit.
It was really cool, but I was pimping back then. It was really cool back then.
That's when you peaked.
I peaked in 6th grade.
That's a close window between first and second kiss.
Yeah.
It really is. I was doing way too much. I was doing way too much. But it was like the notch on the belt. Like all the homies was like, oh, I don't know if y'all. So my first kiss, there was like 7, 8 cats behind the wall looking. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I walk out and I finish the deal, everybody was like, oh shit. It was cool. Memories.
Were you like a natural or were you a bad kisser?
So this is still when I kiss people nowadays, this kind of still happens. They be too aggressive sometimes. Maybe there's some game. Maybe some game for some kissing, but slow down. Slow down, take your time, enjoy the moment. Like people be attacking your face. And so like my first kiss, I thought, man, is this kissing? Like, cause she was attacking my face, and I didn't know no difference. So I thought it was a good kiss. I just thought like the wetter the better, maybe. I don't know. The wetter the better. Yeah, I didn't
It's
know.
usually how it goes.
I can't tilt left. Never could.
That's my go-to.
You tilt left?
I tilt left.
Does that shock you? I will tell you though, ironically,
natural.
Ironically, I go exclusively left as well.
Really?
Exclusively.
I go right.
Yeah, I definitely go right.
Wow, and I don't know. I can switch up. Like if we doing this, and then as we still connected, I could.
I'm learning so much.
Donnie, as you're the only married man. On the altar, how big of a kiss did you do?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't too long. I think it's actually on camera.
Was mouth agape?
I slipped a little tongue, but it was just like a tiny bit of tongue.
Just dip the toe.
So it was like.
Okay. That's
it wasn't
nice.
that long. Yeah.
It wasn't even that long?
No, it was that long. It was.
I think I'm gonna do semi-long first, and I'm gonna go in for one little peck before the dismount.
I like that a lot.
That's cute.
Thank
I like
you.
that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I practice.
I don't vividly recall my first kiss. I do know I was the first of my friend group to touch boobs.
No kidding.
But then I was one of like the last of my friend group to have sex.
Okay.
So I got held up on third base for like
Started too
a long
early.
time.
Abandoned, stranded.
Yeah. But it was sick. Like everybody thought I was the man when I touched those boobs.
My first kiss was in line for a haunted house called Slasher Trail. She was scared. Brought her in close.
Yeah.
Sounds mildly predatory.
Why?
She was scared. Wasn't in the right state.
She was scared for the haunted house. I was being comforting.
Okay. That's good.
But you took advantage of her.
Jesus
like
Christ.
Like,
No, I was being
a
warm masculine presence.
All right. So was this actually
Also, I was in 6th grade.
You were probably scared.
I was horrified.
Were you waiting in line for the haunted house, or was this when you guys were already inside?
It was in line.
Okay. Nice.
But everybody was kissing.
That's
Haunted
kind of lit
houses.
though. That's kind of lit though, because then like you have like a thing in there. Like we're going this together.
Right. It was a bond. Hope she's well.
Hope she's a Trump supporter.
You guys ever accidentally moan when you kiss?
No.
Yeah, me either.
Okay.
Moan. I'll try. How does that work?
You just.
Just.
I mean, moaning in general for a man is kind of.
It's.
I mean, I'm not judging. That's why I don't think I've ever. Maybe like a deep, like a exhale whisper, like.
Listen, a deep exhale whisper, that's a moan, brother.
A moan.
That's not a moan.
Yo, she has you moaning, dude. Oh, no. Arian, keep it down.
That's not a moan. That's not a moan.
That's a moan, dude. A deep exhale whisper?
Nah.
Make that noise.
No.
I don't think that's a moan. I think a moan is
please.
Like, a moan has a certain pitch. There's a certain frequency that a moan is.
Okay.
Let me look up the definition of moan.
Arian's manly moaning.
No, it's not a moan, Maddie.
Let me find out. She got me out here moaning.
Wait, how are you looking this up online?
What's a moan?
I don't think you're gonna be able to
Baby, you had
figure
me
that
moaning.
out on Google.
Well, a long, low
Have I
sound
moaned while kissing?
made by a person expressing physical or mental suffering or sexual pleasure.
Suffering.
So it could be good or bad.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you can moan bad.
What do you mean?
Oh, you
Yeah,
can
like torture.
Never heard of somebody bitching and moaning?
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess in that context, yeah.
Yeah.
How about like a moan when you nut? Have you ever done that? A nut moan?
Yeah,
Arian's going to say he
so.
roars or some shit.
So I guess I always attribute moaning to like a higher pitch, like a
Oh, like a
No.
yeah, one of those.
no,
like,
no,
yeah.
like a man moan is like
So see, those are in the same kind of veil.
Jesus Christ. This is on me. This is on me.
Oh yeah.
like a grunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, my friend.
I think everybody had a great 4th of July week. Just looking around the studio here, we all look happy,
Yep.
healthy. Listen,
It's a great week.
I give this week 2 thumbs up. Can you do 2 thumbs up, T?
I got 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, Big T got to experience the marvel that is the American medical system.
Yeah. No, I got to tell you, my experience. I'm down. If you have good insurance, the American medical system rocks.
If you have good insurance, yes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm down with my experience was rather fantastic.
So
but-
Big T's left arm is out of commission right now. He's got the biggest cast I've ever seen. It goes from his armpit down to his wrist right now. He was struggling to put on headphones because he can't use the left arm. It's good that it's your left arm, not your right arm.
Yeah. No, you don't. A lot of stuff. I've been ranking joints recently.
Mm-hmm.
Elbow. It's no lower than 2. I'd put it at 1. You use your elbow for it's elbow and knee obviously are 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I think you'd rather have your elbows than knees.
What about hip? You didn't think about hip.
No. Would you put hip above knee?
I think I might put hip above knee because if your hip is completely shattered, you can't move anything in that leg.
That's true.
Wheelchair. That's what we're talking.
That's true. All right, I would still go elbow 1.
Elbow might be 1.
Use your arms for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
And you don't realize it.
Yep.
So has it been tough to blog?
Yeah, I hadn't done one till today.
What was it like?
It was better than I thought, but we got speech to text too, but
that's good. So what's the diagnosis of your elbow?
I had an olecranon fracture and avulsion, which basically means the cap of my elbow was ripped off from the rest of my arm, and that's also where your tricep attaches to the rest of your arm. So my tricep and the point of my elbow were hanging off, basically.
So what happened? Walk the people through what happened.
I was involved in a golf cart related incident
it's a golf injury.
Yeah.
You got injured playing golf.
Do you know what the worst part is too? I was 1 under through 2 holes. I had hit the best approach shot I've ever hit in my entire life. The first hole, I drove it about 270 right down the middle. Second shot, and we had warned the guys we were playing with, like, hey, we're not that good, just so y'all know. First drive, stripe it right down the middle. Second shot hit it to within about 3 feet and birdie the first hole.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, I'm
You're good.
unbelievable at golf. Second hole, par it. And I'm like, this is going to be an amazing day. Third hole, flipped the golf cart, got pinned under it, and broke my elbow. So.
Who was driving?
Me.
So you flipped the golf cart.
Well, what happened was where you had to turn onto the fairway was on like a bank.
Yep.
And I can't be the only person this has ever happened
Now,
to.
was it banking down towards the fairway, or was it banking away from the fairway? Or were you going down?
It was perpendicular
okay.
to the fairway. So fairway is like this. You're turning like this, and the bank is here.
Okay.
And yeah, I flipped it and got pinned under the cart. Got a pretty nice gash on my head. Broke my elbow. Other than that,
how long were you under the cart for?
10, 15 seconds.
Oh, man.
I was yelling at my buddy, get it off, get it off. He's like, I'm trying. He did finally, thank goodness. And yeah, other than the broken elbow, I'm fine.
Did you know it was broken right away?
No, I actually thought at the beginning my leg was the problem because the golf cart was on my leg.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's going to snap my leg. Then he gets it off and I'm kind of taking stock and I'm like, I think I'm okay. And then I was like, as long as I can move this arm, I'm fine. And then I couldn't really. And then so we go to an
Playing
urgent
the round
care.
of your life.
I'm still mad about that.
That counts as you shot 1 under.
Yeah, I finished the round 1 under.
Yes.
I did not complete the round, but I finished the round 1 under. We went to an urgent care and I'm typing on their little thing, signing in, and he's behind me and he goes, I'm like, what? He goes, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I'm like, what? He's like, your elbow is a little off, but like, you're fine. You're good.
He's making throw up noises.
Yeah. And it did look, he took a picture. It looked pretty bad.
Can I see the picture?
Yeah, I'll find him.
I would like to see that.
But then I got surgery on Friday and now we're road to recovery.
Yeah. You and Blake. Big elbow injury, guys.
Yep.
So you're going to have to wear the cone. You're going to have to be on trazodone for a while. Just be in your crate for most of the day.
Okay.
And then we'll gradually get you walking up steps.
All right.
And then about 2 months from now, you'll be fine to go back to daycare.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Now, I'm glad that you're okay. It sounds like it could have been worse.
It probably should have been worse, honestly. I'm very thankful it wasn't. But you know, shit happens.
Shit happens. And so how much was the surgery going to cost before insurance?
So, if you did not have insurance, my 1 hour outpatient surgery would have cost you about $73,000.
Jesus Christ.
It cost me nothing. So shout out to Blue Cross. Is that who we have?
Yeah. You could have just said Dave. I'm sure Dave would appreciate
Dave.
it.
Yes, thank you, Dave.
Dave paid for your elbow surgery.
I do pay for the insurance, but
yeah,
but no, we have great insurance apparently, so that was very good to hear.
Yeah, I'm glad you're okay. You got a nasty little cut on your ankle as well.
Yeah,
the X-ray looked gnarly, but I'll tell you what, having a cool X-ray with a broken bone, that's going to be something you can always pull out.
My buddy was standing back with the X-ray tech when they took it. And he looks at the screen with the elbow split in half and goes, oh, so it's like really broken. They go, we can't say. He's like, you don't have to say anything. I can see it right there. And the guy's kind of laughing. He was like, yeah, we can't say.
Because of HIPAA?
Yeah, I think. So that was my head too.
Oh, shit. How many beers? Fellas.
That's what the elbow looked like.
Yeah, that's broken.
Yeah.
It does. That actually does look like Blake's elbow looked. I think you and Blake have the same injury.
Maybe. It's fixed now though.
I'm glad.
So just gotta wait to get this thing off.
Then you pulled a smart move, all-time like 300 IQ play on your part, scheduling the surgery so it wouldn't interfere with playing NCAA college football.
Well, no. So the surgery was just as quick as they could do it, but then they were like, for your follow-up appointment when you'll get this taken off, we can do like 16th through like basically that whole week. I was like 16th as early as possible because that is the day that NCAA comes out. And they were like, okay, we can do 7 a.m. I said, actually, don't do as early as possible. Give me 8:30.
Would you be able to play? You'd have to go double straight arms.
Right now?
Yeah.
It'd be very hard.
Yeah, you'd have to go double straight arms.
But with what they're putting me in next week, they said I should be good to go.
And so what day did you have the surgery on?
This past Friday, July 5th.
Past Friday. What was that experience like?
I was very nervous I had my tonsils out, and then I'd had a cyst removed. That's the 2 times I'd had anesthesia, but never like a reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
But it was pretty, the last thing I remember was being wheeled in there, and we were just talking, and then next thing I remembered was waking up. So it was just very, leading up to it, apprehensive. But
they probably gave you like some anti-anxiety stuff before they hit you with the anesthesia.
They had to give it to me twice because gave it to me the first time. They're like, do you feel that? I was like, I don't feel a thing. I'm still very, and they're like, okay, we'll do it again. Yeah. I was like, that's what I told the anesthesiologist. I was like, listen, if it comes down to, do we give him another shot? Give me air on the side of too much.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to. I said, I realize it's an unfounded fear, but I'm terrified of like waking up in the middle. She goes, oh, have you seen the movie Awake? I was like, no, but thank you for telling me that that's a thing that's out there now.
I think from what I know about anesthesiologists, it's like an inexact science, and you have to go to school for a long time to get that job because
that's the most important. They're more important than the surgeon.
They're very important. You make good money as an anesthesiologist.
Yeah, I think they probably get sued the most too
for doing too much or not
or
enough.
if something goes wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they have you count back from 99 or 100?
No, we were talking about the vacation that I was supposed to go on that I didn't get to, and then next thing I knew, I was out.
Yeah, golf, man, contact sport.
I know.
So, what's the recovery time?
I'm not sure after I get this off. I think, some physical therapy and stuff, but I think once this comes off, like I'm supposed to be close to okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you lucked out because it's your left arm because the butt wiping could be an issue if it was the right arm. I had surgery on my right hand and they wrapped the entire thing up. Had to use the left hand for a little bit.
That's horrifying.
It's very, very tricky.
Even just having one hand is bad enough.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good, but if it's the left that's wrapped up, you can persevere. I had an interesting butt wiping experience over the past week.
Can you elaborate on that?
Would you like me to go on? I went to Greece, had a very fun vacation. Thank you. Santorini is a beautiful island, and Lonzo Ball was there, which is cool because I can report that Lonzo Ball's knee is got to be feeling pretty healthy because it's a very steep island to walk around. In Greece, for the most part, they're a country that does not have plumbing that is strong enough to take on paper products. So there's a lot of European countries that don't have that issue. You see it a lot of times in Central South America. You go into the bathroom and it says, do not flush any paper products. So you're supposed to like wipe your butt and then you throw the tissue into a tiny little trash can.
Are you serious?
That's in the same room as the toilet. Yeah. If you ever go to like in Ecuador, it was like that. In Panama, it was like that, I believe, in a lot of places. Not in like super fancy hotels, but a lot of times on islands you have that problem because their sewage system, the pipes aren't strong enough. So in a lot of parts of Greece, they say it wasn't the entire week, but it was like I'd say 50% of the time you weren't supposed to flush any toilet paper there. Now the good news is, at one of the places they had a bidet, but the bidet was like a hose with like a little click on it that you turn on. So instead of wiping, you just turn that thing onto your butthole. You just spray yourself down. It's a very weird experience.
How was that?
It's not my first bidet experience. I was lucky enough to use one at the Lake Charles Casino when we went there a couple years ago. That was shocking to me. But the second time, I think I kind of like bidets. But I like a bidet that also has the option of having toilet paper.
Right.
Because otherwise you can just walk around with a wet ass afterwards. But just something to look into. If you're going to an island, make sure that you check into the toilet paper situation because
I will certainly check that now.
That was an unpleasant surprise when I got to Greece. The first bathroom I went into, it says, please do not flush any paper products.
So you had some where you had to just put them in a trash can?
Yep.
How often are those changed?
Multiple times a day in a good bathroom.
I mean, but that's still
it's
not
still
enough.
It's still not good.
Multiple times an hour, maybe.
It should be. I wanted to just take it out myself. But
yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck if you ever go to a country or island like that. But I am glad that you don't have as bad wiping problems with one hand.
Still got the hand too.
Yeah, you got the hand. That's nice. And they wrap that thing up pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice tape job.
Are you like itchy under the cast anywhere?
No, this one, the one I had before from like the ortho place was kind of shoddily done. This one, very professional. It's got a nice little Just good job by whoever did this.
It's a solid rap job.
This is Northwestern. They know what they're doing.
Are we gonna have people sign your cast?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because we don't need to.
Why not? Where's the fun in that?
Well, it's not really a cast. It's just an ace bandage around a splint.
Oh, okay. So there's no actual.
Yeah, it's not like a
plaster
hard
or anything
cast.
there. Okay.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, or maybe it heals and you're like rookie of the year.
I did say that. I was like, what if I become a left-handed like reliever now?
Yeah. You got to try at least when you get that thing off.
I mean, my elbow could be stronger than normal.
It could be. Did you see that one guy at the Yankees game last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice arm.
That felt like it was rookie of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was every kid's dream when they were younger when that movie came out. It was like, I hope I get injured and then I'm able to throw the ball 100 miles an hour.
I mean, that kind of is what happens to pitchers now. They get Tommy John when they're 18, 19, and then they come back and they're better than before.